So guys, we are back with the live stream. Actually बहुत ही ब्लेंडर हो गया था. Sorry for the inconvenience. यहाँ पर लाइट चली गई थी and उसकी वजह से ना पीसी चल रहा था ना वाईफाई चल रहा था. Somehow we managed to just get the electricity back और इसी वजह से हम like आधा मैच हम मिस कर चुके हैं. अभी आधा मैच मतलब just the group B का मैच 1 स्टार्ट हुआ है and like it's good कि हमने जल्दी ऑन कर लिया, जल्दी लाइट आ गई. So let's just hop into the match भाई. बहुत ही अच्छा जा रहा है मैच, मतलब मैं फ़ोन पे देख रहा था. So let me just switch to the match screen. Let's just start with the match, guys. Where is our feed cam?
To have the corners of squad ahead,
Yeah.
and they might.
So
end
we
up
are
running
back
into
with the
Simon
stream.
from
We are back with the
Ahli. They spot
matches
him
और
taking the launch
यहाँ
pad
पर
out. So
Group B का
Observatory
मैच
now
1 चल रहा है
conceded over
अभी.
the Straw Hats.
Just
I think
start
because
हुआ है.
this observatory is around the edge, right? We saw LYON to get this position, but right now with a
और
lightning bolt, make a call.
S8UL ने भी fight
Might be
की
a loss,
थी.
have a challenge. That's going to be RRQ that they want to
It's
hit on.
loss
Middle is down. Rigby holds the
versus
entrance,
RRQ.
puts the player. That's going to be runs down along with a bear. And MIBR.LOS will be able to recover the players. And this
बहुत ही
bolt
blender
maker
हो गया
works
था.
in their favor.
Right off the bat, taking out the captain of RRQ and sending only the young Maal on the run. No vending machine in sight. A revival point that is too risky to try and capture with Team Vitality and MIBR.LOS about to square off in that area around Clock Tower. Plenty of compound to work with, a lot of low grounds to hide with. But Team Vitality splitting up as well into a 1-2-1 formation. Whereas MIBR.LOS, they're going to settle in the compound that they just wrestled away from RRQ.
I really like how Vitality is strategizing. They're waiting for an opportunity. They're like the cats who are about to pounce, and MIBR.LOS have no idea about it because they just pushed an opponent out of that compound.
Yes.
They chased out RRQ, but look at this. Slowly trailing in that same direction is even Total Gaming. There's going to be an helter-skelter breakout happening at Clock Tower now.
Yeah, it's going to be pandemonium pretty soon. We got to see where this circle takes us, right?
Yeah.
High chance Clock Tower is going to be in the next circle. But where it kind of pivots towards going to decide where Total Gaming goes, and smack dab in the center. We are getting a very, very nice algorithm for game 1.
Yeah.
Starting it slow and tame.
कहाँ पर घुस रखी है भाई?
Slow and steady was not how all it started. Multiple teams having casualties, but still all the 12 teams that dropped in Bermuda are still surviving. A major chunk of it, or maybe a team fully being eliminated, can be seen here now at the 7-minute mark. Maal finally gets found, and that is going to be the first team. You mentioned there is no vending machine nearby, and Maal couldn't get closer before getting spotted by Ahli.
Bit of a throwback to the recent Asian Invitational that they were in, right? Same thing. Start, it's always not how you start, it's how you finish. And in this case, for Team RRQ, they're gonna go back to the drawing board, 5 more rounds ahead, and some of their most powerful maps in the later stages of Group B. So not all hope is lost. Exposy finds the 3rd point for his team as well. Twisted Mind slowing the pace now. Was able to get back on their feet. Decent economy, and even having a very decked out arsenal should this game go late. I think they just cleared out Graveyard. So there is going to be a very good trajectory for them to move on forward. Even better with LYON just leaving where they were.
On the other end,
And,
silence still at Clock Tower. I think
United
people can hear
in,
the clock
FFMAX,
making a
although
tick
बाद में
sound. That's
S8UL
how we are seeing MIBR.LOS, Total Gaming and
would say this
Vitality
कि
together, and joining that lot is going to be Straw Hats. Slow and steady, everybody want to look for an opportunity. It's going to be Yago, who spots through the window on the player of Straw Hats, the newest entry team who've made it to Clock Tower. But hey, being at the center, meaning the fight is not going to yet break out. It is only when the circle shifts away from you and you have to make a move is when we see the fight. I think other than that, they'll be just trying to chip away each other's HP. Other than that, nothing else for now.
Yeah, especially in this case.
Group
for
B
them,
में से मैं बोलूँगा
they're
Total
going to
Gaming
spread
से
out their
बहुत
manpower,
कम
right? You want to control as much area as possible. You do run the risk of getting picked off. We've seen that happen multiple times. If you're up against more experienced team, that's what they're looking at. Some of the weaker chains off the anchor.
Twisted Minds
Diamond
versus LYON.
getting another one under his belt, and this is going to start hurting LYON as Twisted Minds down for round 2, back at Observatory where they dropped in the early game, but more equipped to take on the fight.
Twisted Minds, I really like that they managed to recover, but they're not just completely clocked in. They need to figure out, and same goes for LYON. A quick jump coming in from Gamesh King. He will get still in another different direction, but not yet towards the circle. He's just moving further away.
Yeah, I mean, one team that has been pretty silent the entire game is Team Secret.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly, this is a team on Bermuda. You
one of my
expect
favorite
them
snipers,
to come out swinging, get a couple of eliminations before they go off the radar. But so far, this Team Secret right now feels like Fluxo from 2024, where they play an incredibly slow game, and at that point of time, playing slow is sort of how you lose out in the late game. And in this case, Team Secret, they are taking no chances. As you did mention earlier on, Lucifer, LYON, not really focusing on getting into the circle earlier on, but now they'll have to make a break for it. The launch pad being used, a couple of binoculars ahead of Bimasakti Strip, just to make sure that there are no gatekeepers there. And the circle pivots towards the southern side, so the journey gets extended, and they might still get intercepted by Twisted Minds.
Now I like the position of Clock Tower. More teams joining that fray. More teams wanting to take control of that arena. It's not going to be easy. Now is when it all breaks loose. Because right at the edge, when the zone closes in, we are for sure knowing that the Clock Tower will not be inside the circle anymore after it shifts.
I mean, the last we checked the radar, Team Secret were at Factory, and they were completely alone, right? Completely uncontested. Maybe Fluxo comes in from the eastern side, but even then, it's a high chance that they will not cross paths. But we did say Clock Tower has a lot of areas that you can play around. High ground, low ground, building, outside, inside. In this case, even the underground tunnel. As our Ahli members basically nested there. MIBR.LOS continues to make sure that they control the perimeter. Haone instantly finds a pop on the Koja.
That was an opening, but I think they should be able to bring the player back up because this is happening within the compounds. Nobody has clear sight of their enemy, so taking them down is not going to be quick and easy. But as you can see, it's just the waiting game right as of now. 11 teams surviving. If not for Mahal going down, I think we would have 12 teams. 11 minutes into the game. This is Group B, game number 1. I did not expect to see all these teams still surviving.
And we were literally just talking about this in the back rooms with everyone else, right? Like, it really depends on the teams that are playing in the lobby. Sometimes if they want to play fast, they want to play fast. Sometimes they just decide, we're not going to fight. We're getting the ladder. We're getting the teams that are going to start blowing some smoke. Maybe 30 minutes into the game when the whole lobby is still up. In this case, barring RRQ, who have been eliminated. But aside from that, it's going to get messy. And that also means this is an incredibly volatile late game.
It is. Especially because we already spoke, right? Group A, we know teams are very familiar with the circuit itself. We saw a lot of Southeast Asian teams already taking control of it. The Brazilian squad of Loud also taking control of it. But here, everybody is unsure about the other team. They want to read them, and that is the reason they're taking so much time. But finally, Batsin, he finds an opening on MÍA Corp. That's going to be Biblik going down. Nix, Joshua have to figure this out. LYON also surrounding them, so there's going to be a lot more trouble. MÍA Corp, they're trying to hold them off. Glue walls all across and making sure rooftop becomes their home for the time being.
LYON will have to make a decision right now. The circle is going to start hurting them. They are going to be rested in this corner. But if they don't show themselves outside of the building, MÍA Corp has a very good idea of where they might be. Binoculars could also solve that problem. The bigger winner now is definitely the team from the States, as LYON will have to huddle together and figure out a solution very, very quickly in the next half a minute. Fluxo making a big rotation and now running the Team Secret. And Exposy starts things off by taking out Josper. So MÍA Corp, they have another team to be worried about.
They did lose a player, but they're not worried about the casualty because they have an upper hand. They are on top of the roof. But right now, having an upper hand might be Fluxo. They want to take down Team Secret because they were the ones who made a jump right in front of them. And they're trying their best, but Team Secret quickly with the chrono, the glue walls are trying to keep it going. But PLS1 is down. Team Glue, he also gets taken down. And now 7, he is gone down. And Fluxo W7M put a team out.
The Brazilian Titans, 6 eliminations on the Butchers in. And MT7 stepping up to the occasion as well. We did say, even during one of the series breakdown, the series recap, snipers, players are integral. MT7 Butchers in. We see Yago step up to the occasion as well. And our team Vitality, it's their turn to make a splash. And they are taking care of their opponents. Only Tro is left alive. He's going to try and walk away with the stealth fight. As we lose Straw Hats off screen, LYON is also out, and now the lobby is going to start shrinking.
I don't know where
So
Troll is going to
LYON
make a run. We already
in
spoke about
secret,
Clock Tower. It's already in a very
Straw
difficult
Hats,
spot. The
Baru.
vending machine is there, but
Fluxo
so
will not even
are
top
many
the
other
second
teams.
position point,
And
second
Troll
position
Gaming
point,
are on top of
LYON.
all of it. They're already in the first fluid of things, so they have a better vision of where the other teams are. And Ahli, we already spoke about them. They are underground. Nobody knows that they are there. They made their entrance. They're holding their control. On the other end of our screen, even MÍA Corp gets taken down. But wait, Troll, he picks off Dix. He's bringing this down to individual battles, and now Sibang has to deliver. He's trying to put a blue wall. Troll trying to win this out on a 1v1. It's going to be very difficult. Vitality on the last man. His position gets compromised. And Ahli, they quickly jump in, and Team Vitality eliminated.
Taking advantage of the chaos, Ahli gets themselves another point. Twisted Minds against Fluxo W7M right now. A full blown out fight. 12 eliminations under the belt of the Brazilians. Exposy gets pre-fire, butchers in, nails his 8 as MT7 finds the pass from long range. Twisted Minds getting dismantled. MT7 goes for a rescue mission. Bob's the captain back up on his feet, but Twisted Minds not so lucky. Diamond cannot withstand the pressure that puts us in and make it 15 for Fluxo.
Fluxo looking unstoppable. They're still at the edge of the circle. MIBR.LOS. He finds a player on Troll Gaming, but in the meantime, Troll getting eliminated. S8UL Esports, they are out. They only ended up getting 6 points in total. But Troll Gaming now, they start stepping out. But Aztec gets hit by Rigby. Yago putting down Shanky. Troll Gaming held this position for far too long. Water, and then Aztec to fall. That is going to be the end for Troll Gaming. Holding that did not work in their favor.
And now Fluxo will take on Ahli. Can they eliminate this team from MENA to give themselves that rematch against MIBR.LOS in the opening game? But Ahli, they're holding steadfast. They are the ones with the man advantage. And MT7, he needs some help. But unfortunately, MIBR.LOS are in the best possible position. Boss with a nade, takes out C4, equalize the battlefield. Hawk goes down. Ahli now getting pressured.
Nades were being tossed by Fluxo, but MIBR.LOS, they turn it around, and Bobs is the last one standing. It's going
Fluxo में Bobs बचा लास्ट में
to be very difficult, but also Bobs troubling Ahli along with the help of MIBR.LOS. They put out Ahli, and now it's the last one standing, Bobs, and it's going to be MIBR.LOS getting the very first booyah of Group B.
What an opener here for MIBR.LOS. A rematch that we didn't expect to see that soon in the final circle, with minor interventions and an uninvited guest in the form of our Ahli Esports. But at the end of the day, well fought, honestly, by the MENA region, right? Put up a good fight against Fluxo, gave them a heck of a 4v4 skirmish, even took out one of their members before MIBR.LOS was even in the conversation. But there's nothing to be disappointed about. LOS, they got the booyah. Fluxo still finished second. The fans, they're still cheering on. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, if this is the very first game and we ended up seeing a fight break out like that, which was, as we said, completely complicated. You couldn't decipher which team had the better opportunity or the better position, because we spoke about it. Hey, this team has a compound. Hey, that team is in a good position right at the edge of the circle. But towards the end, MIBR.LOS, who did not even seem on our screens a lot, they ended up closing it out, and it ended up being a fight between the Brazilians at the end of this game.
I mean, you called it out, right? You said that Clock Tower is a very good spot to be nested in. And guess who set up shop there first? MIBR.LOS. Yes. They got there first, they caught dips, and they owned the area.
And I think that's very crucial, because even Total Gaming tried to play that out, but the timing when they jumped out, they got spotted, because MIBR were ahead of that play. Yes. They were the ones who stepped out of Clock Tower, and that is the reason they were able to take down Total Gaming and put them down in an instant. And I think all the fights that we've seen MIBR take, they've been very quick in converting. Even in this, as we can see, the replay, quick hits coming in from Yago on the sniper. That is the initial approach that troubled Fluxo. They had an opportunity to recover, and on the other end, Ahli also troubling them. But Bobs, you have to give it to them. Last man standing over there, looking forward to extra eliminations, ends up getting 2 more, and that's going to be a total of 18 for the lot of Fluxo.
Yeah, they get 18 eliminations. MIBR.LOS gets 14, and in a pretty ironic way, Bob's getting gunned down in the hands of his former teammate Yago, who actually won 2023 together as well. So again, a bit of a bittersweet reunion on Bermuda. But what a start we have! I mean, of course, barring the fact that RQ got wiped out first, which was unfortunate circumstances. I'm pretty sure Conchita is losing her mind backstage. But we're going to take a moment to breathe and let these teams get back on track. So we'll be back to you guys in just a bit.
जब समझाने आते हैं फिर टीम पागल हो जाती है भाई. लास्ट टाइम भी जब फौजी भाई एक बार टीम को समझाने आए थे, टीम ने हल्ला मचा दिया था। भाई जब भी फौजी भाई आते हैं ना और टीम को समझाते हैं भाई, उसके बाद टीम फाड़ती है भाई। बिकॉज FFMAX देख लो, फौजी भाई आए, फौजी भाई ने समझाया, CS ले गए, BR ले गए 2025 वाला सीजन। तो उसके बाद मतलब 2026 वाले में भी जब समझाया थोड़ा बहुत तो टीम ने अच्छा परफॉर्म करा। तो भाई ये है, जब भी फौजी भाई आते हैं ना और जब भी फौजी भाई समझा के जाते हैं टीम को, तो टीम उसके बाद भाई पता नहीं भाई टीम को क्या होता है, नहीं मारना शुरू करती है। तो लग रहा है भाई अब टीम कुछ ना कुछ करने वाली है, टीम कुछ ना कुछ जरूर करेगी। अब लेट्स सी व्हाट द टीम डूज राइट नाउ। अगले मैच में देखेंगे टीम क्या करेगी भाई। अभी तो EWC की स्ट्रीम पे वही इंटरव्यूज चल रहे हैं, एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स आ रही हैं। लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस नाउ। अगला मैच बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है। सो टिल द टाइम नया मैच, सेकंड मैच शुरू होता है ग्रुप बी का। वील बी राइट बैक, जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच व्हाट हैपेंस इन द सेकंड मैच। वील बी राइट बैक।
the games where when we compared Bermuda, right, there was a little bit of a silence in the mix. Now going and jumping down to Solara, there's an opportunity that everybody will be forced together, take that fight head on, and we might end up seeing it work out for Vitality, as you mentioned.
It's going to be pretty important as well, because for Team Vitality, they didn't get off to the best start, 9 points.
Drop space जा रही है.
It was also a pretty top-heavy game number 1 with both the Brazilian teams coming out swinging. Let's see if they keep momentum. Right? A lot of
clash
times, teams, they come out in game 1, game 2, guns blazing, they hit like a 30
गई
bomb and then they gas out.
Studio पे.
That's not really how you want it. You want to be able to maintain and make sure that you don't overheat. And in this case, we're looking at both MIBR.LOS and Fluxo.
And in that case, mainly, I look forward to RRQ pulling off their best games. Because the first game in general games, of all the performances I've seen coming in from RRQ, the very first game doesn't work in their favor. Every other game, they just pull off with a spree of eliminations. And something that also starts off for Ahli compared to the previous game is finding the very first elimination by C4.
And for MÍA Corp, instantly looking for the disengage. Easier to pull off on a map like Solara. If you are lucky enough to get onto the grind rails, you can't get away. But in this case, it might come down to Kapas, see if he can get a couple of pickoffs to just scare out Ahli away. Or if not, you're going to go into the contingency plan of just splitting up, cutting your losses.
MÍA Corp, in the last game, we ended up seeing being at the edge of the circle. They tried to play it out, it did not work out, and this waiting game troubles them. And there it is, another challenge coming in. C4 finds his second elimination here in Solara already.
Literally say that Kapas needs to be the one that anchors down the field. But unfortunately, I think with him gone, MÍA Corp is going to be at least put in shambles for now about cutting the losses. Team Secret make an early rotation. In fact, they actually called water, so that is a confirmed elimination there.
Team Secret chase कर रही है Shanky
looking for the remainders of Total Gaming, who actually had
great
start in game 1.
ये क्या हो गया भाई? माफिया को जाना पड़ेगा.
That started slow.
माफिया को निकलना पड़ेगा.
Looking to turn things up in game 2, and that's number 3. Here's the knuckle sandwich and a triple.
माफिया भाई
and Team Secret are now picking up eliminations. They only had 1 point at the end of game number 1. Now they have already 3 added on. And Total Gaming, thankfully, they'll be happy that one of the players were at least able to run away from Studio rather than getting in the crosses of Team Secret again. And RRQ on the other end, they will be able to hold themselves off, get to elimination, and MIBR.LOS in still trouble. And moving up, now I think he, yes, as the man said, but can he find the knock? He's trying his best, but it's not going to work out. Players are surrounding him, still be able to dabble with one knock, but will not be able to confirm for the time being.
Yeah, completely outnumbered. Fluxo against S8UL. Going even so far, Butcherson and Jiu both bleeding out, and Jiu is gone, terminated in this battle. As the captain bombs comes
Bobs को भी मारा भाई साहब, what a shot भाई, really what a shot.
There, but damage is done to the Brazilian.
But Troll को अपनी पूरी टीम बचानी पड़ेगी. Troll को अपनी पूरी टीम बचानी पड़ेगी.
To get out of there.
That was a big recovery coming in from Troll. He's a very crucial player on that sniper and always delivers, and this is one of the moments for him to highlight himself. But on the other end, Twisted Minds and Straw Hats as well did not have a great game. Twisted Minds at least recovered, but for the time being on the deficit with Exposy going down, they have to figure out how they fight out with Straw Hats, and Straw Hats, they need numbers, they need eliminations, something that I had expectations on, and they've not yet delivered. It's just one elimination.
And made worse by losing Exposy to RRQ, who popped him from afar, and that means the Straw Hats actually have a numbers advantage. Shocked is gonna shock Diamond with that one. Distant Minds down to 2. And Straw Hats now have a very good chance of taking over. But with RRQ taking out Exposy early on, they're gonna come in as an intervention as Jump is already out of there. So now RRQ is Straw Hats' problems.
And it is happening already. RRQ with confirming eliminations, they're taking down players from Straw Hats, and Straw Hats are in trouble. How do they recover from this? He is questioning who just challenged them. And it's not going to be an easy challenge. Delivery coming in on the Mac 10 from a bear. He puts the player down, and who will look forward to a revive from one of his teammates.
And the rest of Straw Hats are already booking it out of there. Very easy way to navigate from this area. They was doing just that. Straw Hats should be fine. A couple of Arsenal nearby, and a revival point in the vending machine down the road. Team Vitality on the other end finds themselves MÍA Corp again. Koja trying to pelt down the members of the USA team, but so far the glue walls have been nice. Team Vitality receiving some resistance from MÍA Corp, and Civic that takes out Joe.
not the best coming in from Team Vitality. Even the game 1 start, they were caught out in a 3v1 and they lost to Troll, ending up at a 1v1, and Ahli took their last elimination. So not sure of how they play this out. When you already mentioned, we spoke about this. This should be their map, their match. They should try to get back points, get to the top of the charts. But looking at how the play of this game is continuing, I don't see it happening anytime soon for Team Vitality.
Which is the craziest thing, because statistically they're technically not the best on this map, but whenever we get to that map and we look at the stats without Team Vitality, they step up. It's kind of a sick joke in a way.
Yeah.
RQ Kazu having their captain kept alive by a bye, but someone still needs to go retrieve him. And there it is, back up on his feet. RQ with 6 eliminations under their belt. Could cross paths with Vitality. Maybe even Straw Hats again.
I can say to Neptune and everybody else on our expert panel, pish posh, there's no curse, you don't have to worry about it. It's just the RRQ play. The very first game doesn't work in their favor, and then they manage to recover. Team Vitality would want to do the same thing as well. Straw Hats on the other end at Casavista, they managed to recover. They did pick up those early fights, they did win it out against Twisted Minds, but they would have wanted to eliminate the whole squad. Thankfully, Jump made an opportunity to run away, but he still not revived his entire squad. This is what happens when you run away from a very early on fight. You do not have enough coins or reinforcements to push ahead or even go to the vending machine and try to get your player back up. And I think that's what's affecting Jump right now.
Quite an interesting development as well. As we look at the edge of the circle, plenty of teams are duking it out. You know, you have RRQ and MIBR.LOS, the eastern side at Delta Isle, Team Secret, and LYON on the western side as well. But I think LYON are looking for a disengage. They've already sent one of the players out to a vending machine to get those revives going soon as they start dropping bodies. And I think Games King is going to be trapped in quite the predicament. Team Vitality out in the middle in Archway and actually getting a pretty good area to hold on to.
The circle shifts a little sudden, and there's an opportunity where again Total Gaming end up being at the very center. Straw Hats, who managed to also make their recovery, are heading in that direction at Bloomtown. And right above them, we already spoke about MÍA Corp. And MÍA Corp, just like the previous game, they don't go out all brash at right the beginning. They wait for their opportunity, which they did pick up a couple in the early game, but it's not going to continue. But right as now, RRQ, the ones who are continuing, the team who just got the booyah trying and denying them, has going to be a big spray coming in and picking the players off, converting eliminations, and that's how we ended up seeing them getting their 6 eliminations in total.
A way better spot than what we have seen in Game 1. I mean, anything that is not last right now is better for RRQ. Isolated jump right out on the edge. And unfortunately, the same predicament as RRQ from Game 1, no vending machine in sight. And no coins. No coins. There is one on the radar, but like you said, no resources to bring his teammates back. He actually just picked up a pile of it.
Yeah.
And that could be the game changer if MIBR.LOS don't spot him.
Fluxo on the other end, they have an opportunity to spot a player from LYON. Sneakily hiding in the time being here at the studio, and there could be an opportunity that they start off a fight that LYON are not prepared for. But I think Hax has an idea. He knows he's caught out between enemy land. He's not sure if he should head out and put his head there for a fight, and that is the reason he's just holding off until the players move out. But moving in for Team Vitality are going to be Ahli as well as Straw Hats. So something that they have to wonder about and change their pacing.
Vitality by PG के पीछे बढ़ रहा है.
Team Vitality, but they do have a compound that could keep them safe.
अरे बढ़िया Mafia, बढ़िया.
Mafia and App team to take out Deeks in that exchange, but again, compound pretty much secured for now. So Team Vitality, they should be able to recover and sort of readjust to the fight that's being put up by this Indian squad. And I think Total Gaming, there's also an opening where they could decide to go straight for the compound with Team Vitality if push comes to shove.
But again, just going back to the previous game, if they try to hold out the compound for far too long, we've known teams who managed to surround them, and that is how, even after almost having a great start, they ended up losing the battle, and MIBR.LOS ended up pulling up a booyah itself. So small instances, these small minute things that you let go of, becomes a bigger viral thing for the other teams.
And Diamond taken out. Team Secret joins the feed again.
He just came back.
He just came back. I think we found a theme for Group B so far, Lucifer. Full squad, 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Second time it has happened. I think this is what we can look forward to for the rest of the day, which is an exciting thing because it keeps it volatile. Our Ahli even getting a small respite there. Circle now really shrinking down towards the middle. Man, 12 teams, 2 less space for this density of population. Team Secret from the north, MIBR.LOS about to cross paths with them at Archway.
Team Secret on the other end, read by the binoculars. So I think that should be MIBR.LOS who have an idea, or RRQ on the edge of it. MÍA Corp, they end up picking up runs, but Mahal answers back, takes Nicks down. But those are just knocks for the time being. There's no confirmation. Mahal, in turn, gets traded out. And now Ahli jumps to trouble MÍA Corp. This is just happening back and forth. These teams are just dropping players, but not confirming any of them. Oh! All of a sudden, runs and touch together. They put out MÍA Corp.
And breaks the game wide open, just as we thought that the drought will continue for a while longer. And RRQ springing to life and putting themselves on the board for now, and they continue to take on the challenge against Ahli. The glue wall is getting blasted and weakened by Ahli. Simox right in the front of Duz, and he is out. The captain once more removed by the MÍA squad. Abai tries to take on the fight, but Ahli putting up better resistance, and RRQ forced away.
How did this happen? RRQ, they were looking good, and Mahal, now the last man standing. Thankfully, a quick pickup truck, a quick boost. He's run back to the TV tower and a vending machine right in front, so he will be able to bring the players back. But Twisted Minds, they had an opportunity to break again RRQ. But I think they have their target right in front. Ahli, who made trouble. Jump is down on the other end. They wanted to sandwich. I think that did not work out. And Ahli have an upper hand because they have all their 3 players looking forward to this after converting a fight. And they're running across back into the circle, leaving Twisted Minds in trouble.
And Ahli able to sneak past Twisted Minds as well. They poke for it. RRQ, they get the full revive, but the pass was laying in wait. Duz, he just came back and he is removed from the equation again. So RRQ playing from behind, and everything is on the shoulders of Ma'ao. He needs one more on the diamond. The AWM, just enough to put him down so Abai can finish him off with the Mac 10. Chrono Dome is out, but the boss is Sin, and Twisted Minds continues to put on the pedal.
RRQ getting trouble back and forth. They're trying their best to recover. It's not working out in their favor. It was Ahli first, and now Twisted Minds. And Twisted Minds in this game especially are able to hold themselves off. Team Secret on the other end have been just watching this action, teams moving around. Now they have their own opportunity. Mahal, he needs to run back, but he only has 400 coins. That is not going to be a full recovery for him. He wants to look forward to a knock or an elimination, but he doesn't have enough time. And with Mahal going out, the zone doing the damage, RRQ are done for here in Solara.
Standings isn't pretty in terms of placement points, but at least they ran away with 13, and that's going to fill out that booyah for a little bit in equivalence. If you're now checking on Straw Hats against Fluxo W7M, pushes in right through the window, has the therapy with him. The Cassie by his side along the Oscar, a classic combo to go up front. Up close and personal throw from afar, actually taking out Straw. So Straw has attention being divided. They need a bit of help, but it seems like this sandwich might be too much, as S8UL and Fluxo W7M are going to be their undoing. Straw Hats have been wiped out.
That was an opening for Fluxo, and they're going to be happy. They put Straw Hats completely out of the game. S8UL Esports ended up becoming a wonder of a blessing for them. That is added on eliminations. Yes, one of the players got 1 elimination on Straw Hats, but the other 3 were all taken away. Now Team Secret want to do the same thing. They have a total of 11 eliminations. Right at the circle, the same position even goes for Twisted Minds. And that is the reason we can see the inclination coming in from Team Secret to take out Twisted Minds as soon as possible.
And it has been working wonders for them, right? They picked up the pace. Game 1, they played slow and they fell in the hands of Fluxo. They amp up the tempo a little bit, and Fluxo is surprisingly doing the same. But the eliminations hasn't been reflected just yet. We're still looking at 5 for now, but with 8 teams remaining in this lobby, there's a very good opportunity for some of these teams to rack up a couple more takedowns. And S8UL is one of them. But Troll getting hidden down by PLS1. How did they get out of this predicament? The blue zone is behind. Team Secret is in front. And it seems like it will be easy pickings, like shooting fish in a barrel. Twisted Team Secret with 13.
Twisted Minds, they are also in trouble. But Esports, he wants to trouble Team Secret. While they did pick up eliminations, they're looking good. But jump speed lost the man who brought the players back up. Total Gaming on the other end, they are going down to their knees. The fight against Vitality not working in their favor, but Sibeng and Dix are also down. So Team Vitality, they have another challenge. That's going to be LYON on one end and Fluxo on the other. And LYON are taking an advantage on both the teams of Vitality and Total Gaming and finally put an end to their run on Solara. But Koja, he's going aggressive. He finds MT7 over there. Will not be able to confirm yet because he had to step out of the zone.
It's going to be crunch time right now. Hong Out actually takes out Jakos right before that glue wall comes out. And Team Secret might have just broken open Lion's defenses. They get the pickup still, but it means resources have been spent. And Team Secret in a very strong position to make it further. Joe now needs to poke it for safety and will do so for now, but PLS1 catches him from behind, and that Team Vitality removed from the lobby. 5 more teams remain. Team Secret, 14 eliminations and counting.
I'm seeing a lot of M60 being used. They are pummeling these bullets to their enemies, looking unstoppable. And that's what Team Secret is just rallying one after another, rounds after round. And LYON now, they make a jump. A big launcher coming in from Hacks, and he puts the side of Fluxo out.
Cascading damages. Fluxo walked into a landmine and LYON comes in with a grenade launcher. And they are the ones
But you know what I think.
Reap the rewards of what has been sold by the opponent.
Secret
Right
लेके
now,
चली जाएगी.
the open is
Team
Twisted
Secret
Minds
ले
and Team
जाएगी.
Secret waiting for the easy pickings.
अरे भाई
and they
साहब
are
Secret
done.
ने तो
Now
बस
Twisted Minds up
बुरा हाल
against
कर
Team
रखा है.
Secret. A 4v3 in favor of the Vietnamese.
Team Secret, we're expecting for them to start off on Group and Game 1 itself here for Group B, but they figured out how the play was from every team, and now with 16 total eliminations, all their 4 players standing, they're looking forward to a booyah. What they did in the SCA Grand Final Spring, they want to start off just like how we ended up seeing Evo's Divine. It seems like Team Secret have found the secret recipe.
And this is the identity that has been missing, same as Twisted Minds, who are still looking for who they were back in their prime. But Team Secret roaring to life, led by some of the brightest stars. TQuay out in front, Ngan by his side, right the corner, dropped it onto the pass to narrow down the battlefield, exposing next on the list, and Diamond will be dispatched in just a moment. TQuay around the corner, Team Secret with 19 eliminations and a booyah.
This is a big game coming in from Team Secret, and especially for Vietnam itself, to see their squad after just pulling off the SEA title, and now they're pulling it off here in EWC, here in Paris.
If there's any doubts whether Spring was a fluke or stroke of luck, this should quell some of those questions. There's still more to be proven. This could still be the stroke of luck that people have been forcibly saying as part of the narrative.
मतलब क्या ही तो मारा भाई टीम सीक्रेट ने, क्या ही तो मारा भाई. बहुत ही बढ़िया भाई, बहुत ही बढ़िया. क्या ही तो मारा है भाई. क्या करा जाए भाई. अभी लाइक करेंटली अभी तो वही चल रहा है. कमेंट्री चलेगी, कमेंट्री के साथ थोड़ा सा मतलब इंटरव्यू चलेगा. लेट्स डू वन थिंग, पिक एम करते हैं. पिक एम करते हैं. पिक एम करते हैं ज़रा. Let's just do pick em. By like, let us do pick em. Pick em करते हैं. Where's the feed? पिक एम, पिक एम, पिक एम, पिक एम. या ये रहा EWC पिक एम. या सो ये रहा EWC पिक एम. बेसिकली यहाँ पर हम गेस मारते हैं और पॉइंट्स ग्रैब करते हैं. सो लाइक मैंने शुरू के तो नहीं करे थे, बट चलो इस बार करते हैं। जैसे ये मैंने करा था ग्रुप स्टेज ए का मैच 4, इसमें 100,000 पॉइंट्स मिले मेरे को, क्योंकि #1AGL ने मारा था, #4 इवॉस ने मारा था, और जो मेरा राइट गैस था 500 मेरे को उसके मिल गए। ठीक है, सो लाइक लेट्स गो टू, लाइक अब ये भी नहीं होगा, ये भी नहीं होगा, ये भी नहीं होगा, ये तो सारे पिक लॉक हो चुके हैं। वी कैन गो टू मैच 4। मैच 4 क्यों भाई, क्या हो गया मैच 4? बट एक मिनट, ग्रुप बी का मैच 1 हो गया है, मैच 2 भी हो गया है। अच्छा तो मैच आई, अरे हाँ यहाँ से भी तो देखा जा सकता है, बट नहीं देखना, वहाँ से देखेंगे। सो यहाँ से कर सकते हैं ना मैच 4 के लिए। लेट्स डू वन थिंग, चूज टीम करते हैं। रुको, कौन सी टीम जाएगी? MIBR.LOS? नहीं भाई, भाई क्या हो गया ये तो हट भी नहीं रहा, हट जा भाई, गलती से लग गया ओए। चलो रुको रुको रुको, एक बार सारी टीम्स देखते। रुको, सेकंड पोजीशन आई थिंक would be team secret. Third position will be Fluxo. Fourth IQOO, and fifth में मैं रखना चाहूँगा वाइटालिटी को। नहीं भाई ये हटाना है। अब सारे हट रहे हैं ना, अब सारे हट रहे हैं। अच्छा, वो नीचे शिफ्ट नहीं होता क्या, मतलब ऐसे करके ऐसे? अच्छा समझ गया। तो मैं फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे रखना जिसको चाहता हूँ। फर्स्ट फ्लुक्सो भाई, फ्लुक्सो जाएगी फर्स्ट पे। सेकंड पे टीम सीक्रेट। थर्ड पे आई विल गो टू टीजी पे। भरोसा कर सकते हैं? कर सकते हैं भाई, अपनी टीम है भाई। नहीं या डाल देते हैं भाई। मेरे लेकिन मैच स्टैंडिंग 3 ना यार, मैच स्टैंडिंग 3 है ये। हाँ 4 पे लग सकती है मेरे को, टीम आ जाएगी आई थिंक। वाइटैलिटी मे गो अबव देम, एंड उसके बाद 5 पे एस8UL डाल देते हैं। एस8UL कर लेगी, हाँ कर लेगी। ठीक है भाई, अभी मैच स्टार्ट तो नहीं हुआ है भाई। अराउंड 5 इसका भी करते हैं, 5 का भी करते हैं। सो 5 मेरे अकॉर्डिंग 5 जो रहने वाला है। टोटल गेमिंग बुया। चलो डाल के देख लेते हैं, थोड़ा सा इंडियन बायस भी रह लेते हैं। मेरी टीम करेगी भाई, अपनी टीम इंडिया की टीम जरूर करेगी। सीक्रेट, फ्लुक्सो, स्ट्रॉ हैट्स, ट्विस्टेड माइंड्स। एंड देन वी हैव लास्ट मैच में मैं रखना चाहूँगा टॉप पे रखूँ RRQ रख सकते हैं। फ्लुक्सो, ट्विस्टेड माइंड्स, वाइटैलिटी, टोटल गेमिंग। सो ये है मेरे अभी के, और ये तो हमारे कल के हैं। ये गलती से लग गया भाई, एपेक्स रख देते हैं भाई, कोई बात नहीं। ये बाकी कल करेंगे भाई, कल की स्ट्रीम पे करेंगे। ये क्या फाइनल्स है? नहीं तो ग्रुप भी है, तो फाइनल्स का डलेगा ना इस पर। ये कल करेंगे भाई, ये कल वाली स्ट्रीम पे करेंगे। आज के लिए ये बहुत है, अभी मैच का रिजल्ट भी देखेंगे जो 3 मैंने प्रोडिक्शन डाले हैं ना। चलो लेट्स गो, लेट्स गो भाई। देखते हैं अब, मैच तो शुरू होने ही वाला है, तब तक क्या करा जाए। पिकएम भी कर लिया। चलो भाई, मैच स्टार्ट होने ही वाला है।
One. We crowned our first 3 champions, which means that we had even more losers. Of losers, not that I am. Can we fix this, please? But what happens when you lose? Well, you wind up here, the Boulevard of Broken Keys. Don't sing Green Day, don't sing Green Day. Every one of which represents a tournament elimination and crushed dreams. Losers live forever here, and if you listen closely enough, you can hear the voices of disappointed parents who said that playing video games is a waste of time. On the Valorant stage, 4 of 8 playoff teams were EMEA, and they managed to get 1 whole win. So move over, Europe, because the finals was 100 Thieves and NRG. That's right, all American, baby. These colors don't run, they soar. The Battle Royale of the Apex Legends final featured 20 teams, and no surprise, Team Falcons won. Wait a minute, no. They finished 8th. Sorry, it was favorite Team Liquid who... No, they finished even further back at 9th? Oh, because it was actually 2024 champion Alliance who... Oh, come on, who won? Unlimit? Sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but like most people, I've never heard of them. They beat every top contender to become the first Japanese team ever to win ALGS. This will also help them on the road to winning the club championship. Nope, never mind. That's their only team, and they're not even registered for the club championship. Still, my Japanese heritage is proud that we can produce both esports winners and heated toilets. Dota 2 or Dota Duh as a...
मैं बताता हूँ. So what is club championship? मैं बताता हूँ भाई ये क्या मतलब था इस चीज़ का. सो क्लब चैम्पियनशिप जो होता है वो क्लब्स के बीच में होता है. EWC में क्लब पार्टनर्स होते हैं एंड लाइक इंडिया से 2 क्लब पार्टनर्स हैं इस बार, गॉडलाइक एंड S8UL. सो बेसिकली व्हेन यू विन अ टूर्नामेंट, व्हेन यू विन सम टाइटल्स, जस्ट लाइक आई वुड से फ्री फायर मान लो, इफ फ्री फायर में S8UL जीतता है दे विल गेट पॉइंट. नहीं, एक्चुअली दे विल नॉट गेट पॉइंट्स. हाँ, इसमें ये भी होता है इफ तुम किसी क्वालिफाइड टीम को उठाते हो. लाइक अब मान लो FFMAX से स्लॉट मिला था EWC का. सो उस टाइम तो EWC का जो स्लॉट मिला उस टाइम तब S8UL नहीं थी, उस टाइम तो रेडियस यूनाइटेड थी, मतलब फायर आइस गेमिंग थी. तो S8UL को नहीं मिलेगा पॉइंट क्योंकि उन्होंने टीम वो वहाँ से उठाई है, मतलब साइन करी है वहाँ से. सो लाइक अब मैं मान लो फाल्कन्स की टीम मान लो. सो व्हाट विल हैपन जब फाल्कन्स कोई जीत जाएगी टूर्नामेंट, सो दिल गेट पॉइंट्स टू दैट. और उसके बाद लाइक जैसे जैसे क्लब्स, ये टीम्स के ऊपर अप्लाई नहीं होता, सिर्फ क्लब पार्टनर्स के ऊपर अप्लाई होता है. सो जैसे जैसे वो लोग जीते रहते हैं वैसे एक लीडर बोर्ड बनता है और जो सबसे ऊपर टीम आती है उनको ट्रॉफी मिलती है EWC की. एंड जो हमारी गेम्स की ट्रॉफी होती है वो एक मतलब ऐसे गोल सी शील्ड होती है, उसमें तुम्हारा की लगती है. और जो बड़ी वाली ट्रॉफी, लंबी वाली ट्रॉफी होती है वो क्लब चैंपियंस को मिलती है. सो ऐसे होता है. मतलब पिछले 2 साल से फैल्कन्स लेके जा रही है, लेट्स सी इस साल कौन लेके जाएगा. एंड या मैचेस भी स्टार्ट हो गए हैं, सो मतलब स्टार्ट होने वाला है. Let's go to the feed screen.
They definitely didn't disappoint. 7 eliminations there for Hong Am and one team that I know you were keeping a close eye on, Lace. It's none other than Twister Minds.
I mean, this team, I guess if we take you back sort of to the online, didn't look too great. Okay, not looking too hot, but you know, they had a roster change, bringing in Diamond and Xposy, and this was like almost caused a 180 for this team, and they are now in contention to sit in that sort of top spot. And I know me and Neptune were kind of like fighting on this before, like, I wanted to red Twisted Minds. If you saw that match 2 that they had to go through on the eastern side, I mean, they had an early altercation with MIBR. They had to retreat and regather on the eastern side. But that was kind of only thanks to RRQ, who came in and like, oh, I'm just going to be a little bit of distraction. They were able to sort of get away. And not just get away. Did you see that zone pull once in that final circle? I mean, they were sitting pretty. I was bound to see sort of a win there. But look, they did only have 3 players out of the 4, whilst, you know, they're going up against Team Secret with, you know, their whole entire squad. But the ability to adapt and change from Twisted Minds, don't leave them out of the conversation, guys, because they came to play even in match 1 with like their 14 elims. They are... Neptune wants to talk, guys. I'll pass it over. He's just as excited as I am.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's one reason why I'm excited to talk about Twisted Mind. It's because they are different this time. Back then, it was just all aggression. They want to go for elimination, and now they're playing with survivability. And even with that, like Jump was just, as you mentioned, just going into the sides until he reached windmill, went in for a revive, and then even in the final phases of the circle, he's like Twisted Mind is part of it. So this is not something that we often see from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, but speaking of differences, I'm actually a bit disappointed because we were hoping to see something more from Team Fatality, right? They are showing that being different is actually something that you can do to achieve a better result. But unfortunately, that's not what we see in the first two games. Right now, they're still kind of scattered at the 7th position overall with only 8 elimination points. That's kind of sad, actually.
Yeah, maybe they'll be able to turn it around. I mean, they are practicing something new. We were kind of hinting at it too. We didn't really know how it was going to go. Could have gone great, could have gone bad. But one team that did have a great performance there in that last match was Ahli, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't really expect that kind of performance, though. We're not aiming for the Booyah yet. They are just going for elimination, making sure that they are consistent with their placement point. And there was like, we're seeing a similar pattern here. For those who are taking the top of the board, just stay silent, make sure that you can go for elimination, aggression from a distance. That's what I can say. Go for those elimination out of the snipers. Just capitalize on that. I mean, Solar is one of that map, though you can move fast because of slide rails, but there's also a lot of elevation that you can work with to get all those eliminations.
I mean, you're talking about there.
Let's see
be aggressive from afar. Okay, all right, Vitality. I mean, you got 2 snipers. Maybe we'll start seeing that. One team that was able to actually be even more aggressive there in that second match was none other than RRQ, as we're going to be taking a look here at the overall ranking. Fluxo with 38 points. And Fluxo, honestly, Neptune, they started off hot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're getting back-to-back squad wipe. I would say it was still a slow lobby. I would say for the first 2 or 3 phase, but you've seen how well they hunt their opponents. They know the rotation of what will be taken or needs to be taken to choose their fight. They're not going in a little bit too careless at that point, and that has been the strategy of Fluxo right now. And given that there's not so much of the giants, the titans, I would say that's part of Group A. Group B, they are just wrecking it.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we talked about that strong start from teams, right? Come out of the gate swinging, and that's exactly what Fluxo did, you know. 15 eliminations, I believe, in match 1, giving them that incredible strong start and obviously showcasing that on the leaderboard. But Lilas, how can you not be hyped with what's going on for Team Fluxo behind us? Like, you know, we talked about the mentality of players, right?
Yep.
How could you not be hyped having this whole entire crowd just like playing drums and singing your song? Like, it's absolutely incredible, and it's working for them. Like, can I have a crew that follows me around with drums and slice when I'm napping, like wake me up and stuff? Can I get a production? Can I get that organized? Thank you.
They were absolutely non-stop during the matches. Right now, that's why they're kind of calm, because they're being able to relax a little bit. But going back, we saw RQ there trolling with just 13 points. I know this is one team that you were very high on, Conchita. How are you with their performance so far? You didn't want them to start off slow. They did bring it back in that second match.
Yeah, one thing for sure is that I think we really need to reconsider talking about our favorite team in the beginning of the show, because there is some serious jinxing going on. It happened with Aurora before, and now it happened with RRQ now. Like, what the hell? From now on, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But yeah, in all seriousness, I think RRQ, well, the first game, obviously, it wasn't a great start at all. Being the first team to get sent back to the lobby was honestly quite embarrassing for a team in their caliber. But then again, it's what really lit the fire under their asses, I think. Because if we see what happens in the second game, I think they are getting slightly better. They are trying to learn more about their opponents. And that's what exactly what they did.
They're so humble. That's so nice. That's delightful. You guys get some limbs and we'll just get them late. What a humble team. We knew this from the start.
They're getting a breather. They're getting.
What happening, bhai?
Oh, wow, but I do think that they're learning a little from the mistakes that they did in the first game, and hopefully they're just gonna keep climbing up the ladder. But for now, I'm not feeling it still. I am not. I mean, looking at the statistic itself, 9th position, 13 points, 13 elimination points. What the hell is that?
But then again, I mean, in Southeast Asia, they were dubbed the masterminds.
Yeah, the bomb.
That's a possible reason where she's coming from, the studying their opponents and probably bring something in. But one thing that I want to see is, we've seen that in game number 2. Mal was left alone, even a sniper. He couldn't defend himself because he doesn't have the weapon. But on Clash Squad, where it's a different mode, he was practicing those CQCs. So if we can bring that to Battle Royale, then that's one thing that they can do. Just to make sure that they can survive and not be caught off guard, similar to what we've seen often happen, especially if there's snipers and one left behind.
Yeah, I keep saying that if EFOS has Russia at the center stage, I do believe that Mal should be given more chance to take the spotlight in RRQ, because he actually got what it takes. And again, he's also one of the youngest players that is playing for RRQ. So yeah, I think it's just a great what it takes.
Similar to what we've seen often
hashtag
happen, especially if there's snipers and one left behind.
Yeah,
ये वोटा ही है.
I keep saying that if EFOS
सैटी भाई की जर्सी क्यों पहनी है इसने? क्यों पहनी है इसने सैटी भाई की जर्सी? इसकी जर्सी कहाँ है?
has Russia at the center stage, I do believe
Team RQ, Team Vitality, and Lucifer. I know you're currently looking at S8UL Esports. You gotta wake them up, Lucifer.
क्या हो रहा है?
Indeed, I agree, Seven, that S8UL Esports have to pick it up, because Troll individually has done big, but I think the entire name of the game, at least in Group B so far, is that you have to adapt. We ended up seeing Team Secret, who were very silent in the game number 1, instantly adapted to game number 2, and now they're all in, got their booyah already. Even Twisted Minds did not have a great start, but on the other end, Fluxo. So far, this entire lobby of Group B Husky hasn't seemed wayward running away from somebody.
Yeah, we have slightly tighter margins, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's not like after game 2, we see a very top-heavy lobby, which is very good, because I think even up to the 7 and 8 spot, there's a pretty good chance that they can make it in the top 4 by the end of this evening. Speaking of which, I do, want to bring out some of the points that our experts have kind of put out on the table. I think, RQ, I gotta say, Conchita, my heart goes out to you. 3rd time could be the charm.
Could be.
It could be the charm. Vitality, though, that still looking for that magic, right? Again, I think Solara has always been the map that I look forward to for Team Vitality, because I feel like that is sort of what is going to light the fuse for them to come online. But in this case, it was completely extinguished in the mid-game, and now it begs the question of where else is Vitality going to able to kickstart that engine?
One thing that we know where we are heading here for game number 3, that's going to be towards Purgatory. Whereas heaven or hell, it's time for teams to show up. And maybe, as Seven mentioned, S8UL Esports, they rise to the occasion, picking up eliminations. Yes, like how RRQ did, it's also time for placement points.
Placement points integral if you want to talk about potential tiebreakers.
What the hell?
At the end of the day, very rare occasion, but it's always good to have some insurance policy. And in this,
what the hell? What? Why buffering? पूरे घर में, पूरे boot camp पे सिर्फ एक ही चीज़
case, I'm looking forward to see if teams are going to
ले भाई तू 720p पे चल ले
are going to go to Moat House, because when we saw
The two teams are a little bit of an offset compared to the entire 10 lot that we have, who are looking closer, tighter, as you already mentioned, and the fight already breaking out between these two. Looking at it, Twisted Mind should have the upper hand, and there it goes. Diamond, he already gets the opening. And that's the very first elimination, but a quick answer back by Nyx. But can he pick up the elimination? Can he confirm it? That's going to be crucial. Kappa trying to use the chrono and confirm the elimination, but it's not working in their favor. They're about to lose another, and Kappa also goes down. More players from MÍA Corp dropping one by one in the hunt for just to pick one elimination against Twisted Minds, but finally the opening. Diamond is down, and Nyx answering back towards the sides of Twisted Minds.
this is going to be a tough one, but Jump actually gets eliminated by the AK-47 of Nyx, and he comes out prevail. Now has to take that car away. S8UL showing up to the occasion, blows up the vehicle, and unfortunately there's no escape route this time as he pays with his life, but at least there is some significant damage dealt to Twisted Minds as they are down to their last member, and we did discuss about this. They love Moat House, but in this case they are trapped at Moat House.
One thing for sure, just like how we ended up seeing this fight, is you cannot be weighing the scale on just one team. It could change within the blink of an eye. Twisted Minds had the upper hand over there, but instantly turned around MÍA Corp and now S8UL Esports. And similarly, Total Gaming have to do some magic riders now. Spotting the player Joker from LYON, breaking the glue wall open. Now the best weapon for Aztec, but he had his teammate on the other end, and Warthog pushing him into his crosshair, and they find the knock. Confirmation to follow as well. And Total Gaming this time going a rather aggressive approach at the very start, finding the next knock as well, and that's going to be Aztec.
Sets it up for Warthog and confirms one himself as well. Total Gaming up to 2, hacks the third one to get chased down, and it's Mafia with the car 98. So make it 3 for the Indian team. But the job is not done just yet. They might have weathered the storm and sent LYON packing temporarily, but RRQ has just shown up in the compound, attracted by the gunfire, the noise of bullets flying in the air. And let's see if Total Gaming can hold a candle to the Kings of Kings.
It is going to be tough. Of how we ended up seeing RRQ without getting any point, going down in game number 1 and instantly in game number 2, 13 total eliminations. If they had placement points, they'd have looked at the top 5. And now they have an opportunity. But Total Gaming, they took an aggressive foot forward. Can they continue that is something that we have to wait and approach for. But Ahli, this team from the very beginning have been surprising every squad and now challenging Fluxo, taking the player but sent down. And Fluxo in trouble. MT7's also spotted. Hawk will try to take him down with his crosses. Sneaking through. Can he find the hit on the car 98? But no, so far.
क्या हो गया भाई? ये भाई ये 720 पे नहीं चल रहा यार मतलब यार.
And somehow Fluxo will be able to make a run.
And RQ has done some significant damage to Total Gaming. 2 of them go
down.
Wow, अरे माफिया भाई तगड़ा. And gives himself the third RRQ, shattered in an instant.
Everybody who watches Total Gaming in India, they know what Mafia is capable of. If he is in form, the entire squad will rally with him. And it seems like in game number 3, they've decided. And Mahal, again the last man. Neptune spoke about this. Being a sniper, the last man is not at all the best way to play. That Suzy passive works out. He has a lot of coins. He does it at this point, but it's only 1300. Not a full squad revive, but he'll still manage to do something because it's the early game.
Yep, and he's forced to backtrack as well because you have Bunny from S8UL Gaming on that low ground. No vending machines inside Ma'ao. With the weight of the entire team on his shoulders, just like the previous game. He's done it once, but there's only a limit to how much revives he can bring back before the weight crushes him. Check back with RQ in just a little bit. Straw has now showed up the compound of MÍA Corp, who are just vacating that spot, but you gotta look back at this moment when Ma'ao gets the setup to his team. Finds 2, but immediately the response came in from Mafia to get even more damage done.
Wait, Mal? He takes the zip line. Heading back, RRQ, he did not get the revive. Yeah, this was a very risky approach. Shanky, if he knew that was happening through the zipline, he could have taken him down. But Mahal making a run. Shanky has spotted him, but I think he will be able to manage.
Arey Shanky, bhai, badhiya bhai.
Just in time. Rans and Dots get picked.
Revive to kari thi
and back in action. They'll be flying up, but almost Shanky got him, and he would have taken that knife and driven through RRQ and out of this game.
Yeah, by his deathbed, he brings 2 of his teammates back and keeps the heart of RRQ beating. And for now, Ma'ao has done his duty, and it's up to both the captain and the young gun to keep that legacy going and see if RRQ can make it further down the road. We're looking at a total of 16 points for now, barring as we excluding the placement points. Vitality also, another team that we're looking for magic. And I can't believe I'm saying this, Lucifer. When we came into today, and I thought that EVOS is going to be the team that struggles the most out of the 3 Indonesians, but that was not the case, right? EVOS, even though we've only won Booyah, did finish top 4 in Group A. And right now, it's Team Vitality who are struggling the most.
I think we were having this discussion, right? When we were talking about maybe they also themselves were telling us that maybe it was just an experimental phase down in ACS Spring. And it actually looks, they are able to deliver results here on the EWC stage.
Part of me actually didn't want to believe it. I thought it was an excuse.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
But no excuses for Twisted Minds. They almost had control of it, and this time they're taking an approach to a couple of the isolated players from Straw Hats who went all the way to Moat House. Not an approach that we've seen in the recent times of Free Fire that anybody heads in that direction. An isolated, desolated land of Moat House, but Straw Hats they think that's the safe haven because they are losing players. As you can see, Twisted Minds clear their position at the edge of the shore, and Straw Hats had to go for another revive, get the player back up, and the circle, thankfully for Twisted Minds, move north.
Yeah, actually, a blessing in disguise. Yeah, that's one. They're gonna drop with the reminder, so Ali will have to halt their rotation for now. And Team Secret, they're not gonna wait. Riding off the momentum of Game 2, where they had a fantastic sequences of events that led to the Booyah. Let's see if they can feed off of that energy. And Ali, they've shown us that they can fight, and they will fight back.
They will. They've been at the top of the charts, but so do Team Secret want to get in that direction. This time try and find an opening. So far they've not found. Rather they've found and received damage. They've been forced to back off. And there is it. TQ has been taken down. Now on 7, he's also been spotted. Oh God! He doesn't get anything to say. Had the launcher in the hand and will be launched back into the lobby. Nothing else. Now on 7, he's also spotted. Went to the vending machine and he turns it around with the help of PLS1. And Team Secret, they bring it back.
PLS1 with the build out in the last second to cut down the ranks of Ali, who seemingly had an advantage, but falls in the hands of PLS1 as he locks in an ace for his team. The 6th point in this game and the first team to wipe out Ali in this lobby.
That was not thought of. I was Ali almost looking in control, but anything can happen is what Group B is the game of.
I can't believe it. PLS1 left to his own devices and was able to work magic.
Exactly.
3 consecutive shots to take down 3 individual rushes, running at his teammate. That is the kind of support that we need. That is what defined this current meta, where snipers are everything. They mold the world and they shape the results. Team Secret now in a powerful spot.
And so is LYON. Rawan with that Winchester, picking up a couple in his name. Drop the player, quick on the confirmation as well. Team Secret, after finding a full-on wipe, they have another challenge right in front of them. That's going to be Fluxo, the roaring fans right here in Paris. And now they have a challenge in front to try and push out Team Secret. It's not been easy. From game number 2, the pacing, and especially after what PLS1 did. And look at his position. I don't think they have an idea about it. And if he starts hitting, and he does, MAD to B, he puts Bobs down, and double already striking for Fluxo. And they cannot get closer. Bobs wants to get closer to his teammate Butsin, but that's not going to happen because there's the Bolt Maker also called. Could be trouble here for Fluxo, but there might be a disguise of blessing by Twisted Minds if they decide to take a fight with Team Secret.
Potential 3-way fight here. Team Secret having a bit of a compound to work with, and on top of that, a vending machine right at their doorstep. So any emergency supplies or revives can be achieved. And Fluxo now going to step on the gas. PLS1 out of there with the launch pad to reconvene with the rest of his team and complete the rendezvous. So dodging a bullet, but putting themselves in the vicinity of Twisted Minds. But fighting one team is better than 2. Fluxo could take this opportunity to get a couple of free points.
That was one of the smart moves coming in from Fluxo to make sure that they go behind the sniper and not give him position. And now Twisted Minds have the advantage of it because all the players from Team Secret have been crunched. They've been forced to be together, and Twisted Minds like this. Diamond on the flank. He spots the players, but Fluxo, KO, he puts Diamond down from afar. This is the problem. When you let another team take control of a position, especially in the circle, they feel a lot more confident. And now Fluxo, that's what they're feeling. Now they're chasing the players. Bob's the man who was knocked by Team Secret is now wanting to revenge for that action.
Yeah, Fluxo really pushing forward right now. They had control of the safe zone. They could play gatekeeping, but they wanted more. And in this case, thankfully for Team Secret, nothing of value was lost. Even the vehicle wasn't completely wrecked, so they could rotate up to the high ground. And in fact, right now, because the circle doesn't hurt as much just yet, Team Secret could set up shop on this high ground and actually scout out the area before making a future rotation. There's also a zip line that they could utilize in times of emergency, but the decision will be made to cross past the northern side of the map and get around both Twisted Minds and Fluxo.
This fight has been going back and forth. Twisted Minds trying to kind of itch towards Team Secret and Team Secret as well. It happened in the previous game, but right now it has to conclude because if Twisted Minds do not get taken down, then it's going to be Team Secret. Flash freeze being used, the dash coming out from the bars, but he couldn't find an opening, and there PLS1, he turns it around. He puts the player Diamond down and he's in trouble. Jump the bars as well as Exposy need to do something, but it's only Exposy who finds PLS1, but maybe it's a little too late.
A bit of a consolation prize right there for Exposy, but still the rest of Twisted Minds have already been eliminated and Exposy joins them in the grave. And Team Secret finds another wipeout here. First starting with our Ali and now following it up with Twisted Minds. They should have no problem bringing their teammate back. There's a vending machine right in front.
Yep.
And right in the safe zone as well. And they can get there on time. Seems like everything is laid out for Team Secret to potentially make it to the final stage again.
Could be a back-to-back. Not something that we've not seen. We've already seen in Group A that happened. Maybe Team Secret try to replicate the same with their own. And there is the revive. But on the other end, Fluxo, it seems like they've found players from S8UL and they're troubling them. And on top of it, RRQ find MÍA Corp. And that's going to be an end for MÍA Corp. They've not been having a great start at all here in Group B. They've been at the bottom of the charts. They need to pick up pace, but Fluxo, they've been picking it up. They're at already the top of the charts. The only thing that they're missing is the Booyah. Game number 1, they're very close. Game number 2, they couldn't. They got taken down. But now, if they fight Team Secret and put them down, the challenges for Booyah will be swept out.
And this is round 2. They put Team Secret in a very uncomfortable spot, but Team Secret conquered that hurdle and now are back for revenge. Gio with the push on forward, LYON goes down, but instantly from Captain bombs in the setup. And Fluxo have cut Team Secret down to just PLS1, who was brought back early on. But can PLS1 get the build out again? Doesn't seem like it is going to be a reality this time. Fluxo coming out on top.
PLS1 again quickly running away. He was the saving grace. Yes, an ace was found, but now no challenge for him to take the player down. He had to go out of the zone. An extra effort that he has to put and win it out. But on the other end, the team who's putting a lot of efforts after getting their very first Booyah here in Group B. That's going to be MIBR.LOS. They did lose out a player, but they already have 8 eliminations. Playing inside the circle, but Koja with the dually puts the last player of S8UL Esports down. It's not working for them yet. They've not found their winning ways. These young guns are missing their player, their captain Prince, and they are not able to yet adapt in such a highly competitive pace.
And a different story for Team Vitality this time, racking up double digits in terms of elimination as Yago cleaned up the remnants of Team Secret. No more back-to-back this time. 5 teams remain. Fluxo looking incredibly healthy, same as Vitality, as both teams have gone on a tear. But there's a very good chance that we see RQ run up the causeway and into Total Gaming, who are controlling both areas. MT7 finding a sneaky one from behind. A buy right into the fire. And of course, gets the burns to a crisp.
That was a very quick save coming in, and that's the reason I was talking about how crucial Mafia is. He lets them all rush through and back again into the game. All 4 men standing, Total Gaming ready for this Final 4 standoff. MIBR.LOS are the only team who have a 3-man playoff that they have to go against the 4-lot of all the survivors we have.
Will be the first time on the world stage that a team from India gets a Booyah, and how close are we to that, Lucifer? Dreams can come true, and we take it a step at a time. Total Gaming has to face off against MIBR.LOS, and Haone is the one that gets the upper hand. The Winchester, Sebank, up against Fluxo on the other end. VSS doing a magic there, but Shanky has been brought back up. The nades now come true. Riptide Rhythm unleashed. Yago in danger, but still putting up a bit of a resistance to pin down the members of Total Gaming, but they're in the face of MIBR.LOS. General takes out Water. The members of TG cut down to just 3.
General bringing it down to a 3v3, troubling Total Gaming, and now Total Gaming with the zone closing in. They are forced out of space. MIBR.LOS are able to hold their own. Aztec gets taken down by Yago with the sniper. Confirmation coming through. Shanky a little too late to just find a knock there. And MIBR.LOS for India, who wanted to see if there could be Booyah, they put those dreams to rest for now. And MIBR.LOS are not stopping there. Yoga again once more picks up on Godzin. That's going to be on Fluxo, and MIBR.LOS might be looking forward to another Booyah. And Yago already at 7 total eliminations.
And Cole just speeds up that process. The nade takes out Bobs. And unfortunately, Diggs is now going to be in the crosshairs of MIBR.LOS. Haone with the rush as well. Team Vitality, they actually have more members. Diggs with the rush through. Getting tagged, but not down just yet. Jago with the confirmation. Someone needs to stop this guy. He has won a world championship in this banner, and the Team Vitality is letting him run loose. Yago again! With Fim on the Sabank, looking for a conversion. General leads the charge. Team Vitality getting picked apart, and everything set up by Yago. MIBR.LOS with the second Booyah.
It looks like Brazil is here in EWC for the title, taking it away from SEA, taking it from any other region because they've been looking for it. They have conquered the world stage once, but EWC is something that they've been missing for a long time. And what a game coming in from MIBR.LOS, especially Yago. That man to hold his own on the sniper when players are rushing. 8 total eliminations on his own.
Insane performance. Last year, when LYON was on the cusp of victory, they were the only
Day one of the group, and let's hope they start doing better because right now they are taking a quick breather and they will be jumping back into the lobby. So you guys don't go anywhere.
We book Esports World Cup.
अब आ रही है आवाज? हेलो, आवाज आनी चाहिए मेरे पास। मतलब 1 मिनट रुकना है।
Design characters for games that can emote and actually talk in minutes using Envato's Gen AI tools.
One moment, they're smiling and talking.
Then suddenly they're serious or ready for battle.
All done by just swapping expressions during dialogue.
First, choose a visual style that
Second
fits your
timer
game.
day भाई
Write
की
a simple prompt for your base
हो
character.
गया।
Then click
Mic
generate
हो गया।
until you have a solid starting
ये
point.
हंट
Create
भाई की
short
रील
prompts
देखी
to
थी
change the
भाई,
expression
हंट
of
भाई
the
की
character.
रील देखी है ना भाई, ये माइक म्यूट हो जा रहा है मेरा। हंट भाई की गलती है ये, मेरी गलती नहीं है।
Voices combine the voice dialogue
यार,
with different portrait expressions. This is
कहाँ से
perfect
होती है
for
इसके
things like
पैड?
RPGs, visual novels, and story-driven
कहाँ से होती है
games.
इसके पैड?
Sign up with Envato and try it out for yourself.
Tell me what it's been like being in Paris this year.
Yeah, I think, I mean, might be it's about we are lucky that the Bastille Day, I think yesterday we saw the Eiffel Tower and the fireworks and the many, yeah,
भाई मेरे
this is
boot
a very,
camp वाले
very
लोग
good
कर
show
क्या
and
रहे हैं?
we
किसी
have
को
been
बता
like,
तो दे
we
कि
are
भाई मेरी
very
आवाज
lucky
नहीं
to
आ रही है।
have the
एक मिनट
EWC
भाई।
and the same thing happening in the, I think around same date.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now,
रुकना
you could be
जरा भाई,
biased
रुकना,
in this
रुकना
question,
जरा।
okay?
Okay.
Who is your favorite to win the whole thing here for Free Fire?
I think for sure, I want that our team will win. So we have like 3 teams: S8UL, IQOO Gaming, and Team Apex Gaming.
Yep.
So I don't like for Team Apex Gaming, it's not a very good start, but hopefully they will come back tomorrow because today we score only 41 points. But let's hope for best for the S8UL and IQOO Gaming because I think they did a very good start, but we have 4 games remaining. So let's see.
We still have not only 4 games remaining in this, but lots of gameplay left so far in Free Fire. So we'll have to see how everybody does. And I don't want to take you away from your chat for too much longer. So thank you so much for chatting with us. You know, enjoy the rest of the series.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's Face and Kachita here to bring you more of the storylines from Free Fire. And I think Buriram United Esports better watch out because MIBL just got their second booyah.
Yeah, that was amazing. 3 games and 2 booyahs. That is quite something for MIBR. But also, we need to talk about Team Secret because for a second there, I thought this was going to be their game. They wiped out Ahli and then they wiped out Twisted Minds. And if I remember correctly, they won the FFMAX Spring 2026 by getting consecutive booyahs, back-to-back booyahs, and I thought it was something that they would actually achieve again on the 3rd game, but unfortunately that wasn't the case because MIBR are surely the strongest contender now.
And I mean, Team Secret and Twisted Minds kind of are forming this little bit of rivalry, if you've noticed. In those first couple of matches, it was them in that final zone. Then in that previous game there, they had an altercation in kind of the northwestern side as well. But it looks like Team Secret just have that little extra secret sauce to be able to take out Twisted Minds, and they don't seem to get their footing.
Yeah, but speaking of MIBR, once again, that last circle, girl, that was so intense. That was crazy intense. And to see that they're now at the 4th place with 31 points, 18 elimination points. I think you're right. Buriram United Esports better watch their back. I mean, we still got 3 games to go. Anything can still happen, right?
And if we've seen it in Free Fire. So, you know what? I feel like it might be happening. Can they get a 4th? I don't know, it's going to be a little bit exciting, but to be able to achieve that sort of mean in the starting rounds, I mean, MIBL, you'll be watching them because 3 booyahs is coming their way. But of course, I know we're very much itching to get into those next matches. Lucifer, do you think MIBL is going to be able to achieve that 3rd booyah?
Yes, there could be another opportunity here for MIBR. They've been looking really good. And the action that they brought in, they've put themselves on the top of the charts. A total of 62 points, 37 eliminations. And as you guys already pointed out on stage, that maybe Buriram might have to watch out. Yes, Evo's Divine do not have to be worried about, but a close competitor very soon.
Yeah, very, very close. In fact, MIBR.LOS was actually a big competitor to BRU last year in RIA.
Yeah,
you know,
there you go.
It's coming together, baby. It's coming together. That's what makes Free Fire such a competitive and fun esports title. A lot of times, and that's why it's hard to escape the allegations that, hey, we predetermine some of these things. As I gotta say, it's so intertwined right now. You can step on any part of the machine and something will fall into place. But one thing that has yet to fall into place is where do we place RQ again?
I'm not sure. I think we have to ask Conchita as well as Neptune again because they've been the ones who've been talking about it. And hey, I don't know if there's a jinx, but maybe something that we will look later towards. But I think there could be an opportunity where RRQ now recover, right? They've had an idea what Team Secret is doing. MIBR.LOS on the other end on a spree. Looking forward to Yago of how he's been sniping across. And Fluxo almost getting to all the top 4s in the final fights.
And we did say that the second half of the matches for Group B theoretically should be ID favorite. Theoretically should be RQ and Team Vitality that gets pushed under the microscope again. Nextera, Kalahari, Nextera. It starts with here. Honestly, I think on Nextera, I look at RQ.
भाई टीजी का तो मेरे को लग रहा है ग्रेव लैब्स पे क्लैश है MIBR.LOS के साथ उसके बाद MIA Corp
LYON going over the Intellect Center
MIA Corp का है अली के साथ
but we also have S8UL against Straw Hats. Actually, Straw Hats are very
spread out. S8UL के साथ
it's a very unfortunate, very early clash that we're seeing at Deca Square happen right now. And Straw Hats are already looking at the bottom. It seems like it could be trouble, but as we look at our stats, we can see S8UL are the ones who are dropping the numbers, and S8UL, they are also close to those bottom 2 that we've been talking about, and teams need to now start worrying. If everybody doesn't start jumping in,
just right now the match has started. Just right now the match has started.
They'll miss out on opportunities. They'll miss out to getting back towards the top 4 or at least staying in the 10 because if they're in the bottom 2, they will be eliminated.
I think at least in this case, we saw a bit of a disengage that spot was taken over by RRQ as they fill in the void. So now RRQ is Straw Hat's problem. S8UL escaping with one remaining member. Pincer Tech coming in. We get a quick replay of this earlier clash that we saw on the radar. And unfortunately, S8UL just hit the ground running slightly slower.
Yeah.
And the mini Uzi can make a lot of difference in this early game. And unfortunately, these 1v1s didn't really go in favor of S8UL. Straw Hats coming out on top with 3 points. 4 points in fact.
I think there was a better rebound between the players of Straw Hats and especially their abilities, their skills coming into play. But right now the action keeps striking. Straw Hats did not have enough time to get back their resources to go for the fight, and RRQ, they had enough time. They're picking up the players. They confirm 2 of them and get 2 eliminations. Nil is also stuck, Riptide Rhythm, and that is going to be his defenses blown open. And with that, that's going to be a 3rd elimination. And you were talking, we were mentioning, where do we place RRQ? This is where, always looking at eliminations, they somehow find it. Placement points is something that they have to add on to this aggression.
I mean, they're the masterminds after all, right? Maybe they have some grand plan that we haven't figured out just yet. And for a good reason, because if we figure that out, we probably would know the results. Maybe India Multiverse RRQ.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there in the wild, they have it all planned out. But Team Secret is a team that started off slow, but the past 2 games have had great performances. Maybe not so great in Game 3. They did kind of fumble in the middle, but we also got to give props to the team that took them down, right? MIBR.LOS was quite the force. Total Gaming as well, finishing 4th on that map. As I say, Total Gaming, Mafia shows up on the feed, taking out Bunny. Fluxo also in that altercation, as Diamond gets gunned down as well. Team Secret with the 3rd.
It seems like a lot of flurry eliminations are happening. Vitality also picking up on Fluxo, MT7 out of the play, but instantly Vatsin gets the player revived. So it's just back and forth for the time being, and the player who just got revived just got picked mid-air. So Fluxo have another effort to add on to go to the vending machine. But Mafia, the man who picked up the elimination, spots another opponent right in front of him.
Mafia के सामने कौन है?
But X-Drop, he's better because he had the max 7 and his teammate as a backup. And Mafia's down. So Total Gaming having this separated approach did not work for them to get another additional elimination. However, Straw Hats seems like they're recovering. They've had 5 eliminations so far at the start of this game.
And the revives keep on coming, right? We've seen so many bodies drop, so many points acquired by different squads, and yet we still have 43 again. It's gonna cycle. We're gonna cycle through these numbers for a while. As Jump finds a trade with him and TQA, Team Secret, losing our number just a little bit. In the last game, they had to rely, and they could rely on PLS1. And here comes the savior. Diamond has that location locked down. PLS1 deny the pickup. It's still gonna come in onto it. The shoulder is showing. And fully denied. Twisted Mice this time will not let Team Secret walk away scot-free.
Unfortunate. 2 different angles in Team Secret. They get troubled. TQ as well as Nan7, they're the last survivors, and I think he might be taken down. Nan7 is also spotted. Diamond with his AUG puts him down, but the trouble is not done yet because MÍA Corp, they entered into this fight. They want a pick in terms of eliminations because they've not had a great game so far in the start. 3 games done. This is game number 4. MÍA Corp need to get back to those eliminations, need to get back to placement points, and they've found 3 so far. And Twisted Minds, they've now taken a little bit of a silent approach with the boss. I know he is worried and spots the player while he was completely unwary of another team being available or for a fight, and instantly the boss puts him down, and MÍA Corp suffer a loss. But another team who suffered a big loss is going to be Team Secret, who are now swept out.
The boss now finds a second challenger, which is Nick. And he turns around and finds Josper. Another body slam in the face of MÍA Corp. But the boss is hit on a one-man mission. John Wick style here. Can Nick find him though? I mean, the boss could still do some heavy damage, and all with the absence of his teammate. So can you imagine the amount of chaos they could rain on MÍA Corp when the rest of Twisted Minds complete that rendezvous in that area? MIBR.LOS playing on the outskirts this time at the coastline. S8UL in front of them, and Rick B relays that information. The Dynaucleus spawning slightly ahead, confirming the presence of no one. So now they can focus on the members of S8UL.
Oh no, big trouble. S8UL Esports already receiving big damage. And MIBR.LOS are closer than they think. Rick B, he puts the player down. He knew what was happening, so he had already gotten closer to the haystack. And as soon as S8UL decided to maybe go for a flank, the player instantly gets shut down. And Troll and Jack are now stuck in a building. Bunny way too far to help out. Troll will be taken down. Jack will be very soon found out. And Bunny, all he can do is run away, go for a revive. But Jack is thinking he wants to step out. Maybe look forward to an approach if there is save. But I don't think there is going to be a save button here for his teammate. All he can do is try to buy time for Bunny. Yeah.
And as long as Bunny can get out and get that revive, his job is done. Jack putting up a valiant fight. The result goes over to MIBR.LOS. 10 eliminations already. Just short of minute 7. We just see the standout player was Yago in the previous game, who clocked in 9 eliminations on his own.
Yeah, guys, I'm back.
So far, I mean, MIBR.LOS have been outclassing Fluxo, right? I mean, as much as, again, I big fan of Fluxo, big fan of the legacy. Recent times, MIBR.LOS, ever since the loss in Riyadh last year, has really fueled something in them. You see the fire burning. And not to mention with Yago's addition to the squad, this team has powered up.
Big time. And we might be looking forward to another opportunity for MIBR.LOS. We saw the stage also talking about the same thing, but one team that I do want to see who have opportunity is going to be LYON. And now they spotted Joel. And he was just out in the open, running across these tracks like he owned it. And LYON instantly put him down. In this game, LYON also has 4 eliminations. Seems like they are trying to move in the direction of finding a lot more elimination. But I'm surprised that we've not yet seen any elimination from Gamez or Gamesking, because he's been the MVP for their team. Rather, it's been Hacks who's been picking up the weights on his shoulders.
Yeah. And it's something that I think they need to dig deeper to find, right? In this case, they could start with getting solid confirmations onto Team Vitality. Makes it 5 now. Again, you call back to Gamesking's last year on the world stage. He has been a pillar of his squad. One of the youngest player in the entire tournament, but also one of the most gifted long-range players. In a meta where snipers were sort of shoved aside, and he was the bright star. Right now, everyone is looking at him, and all eyes are on him, and yet still leaving more to be desired. Axe tags kind of trace himself for 1. Total Gaming up to 2. Launchpad available to disengage from LYON.
LYON now getting hit upon by Total Gaming. Shanky puts Joker down, but quick trade coming in from Gamez. That's not going to be a confirmation. Oh, finally it is. So they do also lose a player. So even Total Gaming had to go for a quick revive. And Vota is the one who did that. LYON on the other end, they want to chase the player who went for the revive. The vending machine is going to be Vota.
अरे बढ़िया भाई, Vota बढ़िया, Vota बढ़िया. अरे बहुत बढ़िया Vota.
The rush coming in from Vota, and Vota all alone trying to hold himself off.
अरे
Now
Vota
he's closer, and Vota will be finally taken away because Joker from afar with the sniper puts him down.
Good attempt there from Vota to really keep LYON pinned down for the rest of his team to kind of recuperate themselves. So he gets revived regardless. So TG back to full force. This game again slow. I mean, game 3 was the game that had the faster pace.
Yeah, it did.
Now we're slowing down a little bit. I say we slow down just because we still have 39 players in the lobby. We cycle through plenty of reincarnations at this point. We've only lost 2 teams, Straw Hats and Team Secret. Everyone else pretty healthy.
This lobby of Group B itself tells you of how different from Group A this entire set of teams are.
Yes.
Because there, everybody was very hungry for eliminations, fights, back and forth. But here, everybody wants to read each other, understand each other, because they all know elimination is not the biggest threat, but it's about going into the finals directly. You mentioned about it. Miss that survival stage 10 games and walk into the finals, prepare better strategies and be ready for it. That's what they're eyeing for, and that is getting difficult for some of the teams to figure out, even though we are at game number 4.
Yeah, even when we look at the numbers, so far some of the accolades of these players, right? Yago, 3rd in line with the most eliminations. He has 13 in total, and 9 of them came from the previous game. Total Gaming now facing RRQ. Wota, who just came back into the lobby, got removed again. And Total Gaming's members cut down in half. Shanky might have to hold the fort here.
And they're not in the best of the position. Aztec, who just went in for the revive, his position's compromised. Fluxo are going in for the chase. Shanky, he can't do anything because if he steps out, then another casualty strikes. And there it goes. The players in mid-air, Ahli, they pick out Vota once more. So nothing is working here for Total Gaming. Aztec, the man who went for the revive, he will also be taken down. And the bell is not ringing in the favor of Total Gaming. They were closer in the previous game, but in this game, they're still not able to figure out what works in their favor. But Vitality, they had to figure out, made a jump, but tried right into the crosshairs of Twisted Minds. 13 eliminations already, and they're looking forward to a lot more. And with the VSK expose, he gets one more added to the team.
Bit of a distraction there that could give TG a breather to pick themselves back up and kind of put the pieces back together. But 11 are having this in-game time. There's really not much space to work around as Aztec is brought back. System Minds looking at 13 eliminations. RQ sitting right across. And also Fluxo in the vicinity as well. You didn't see the circle earlier on, centering around Boxing Gym and Decker Square, where MIBR.LOS has basically hunkered down on the southern side of the safe zone. It could give them a good entry, get a couple of points under their belt, but I'm looking at Ahli again.
Yeah.
Last game was the only game that they didn't make it that far, but now, in the 12-minute mark, Ahli will have a good chance to prove themselves once more.
Right now, before Ahli, we have Fluxo, who have another challenge. They've always looked closer to a Booyah, but they've never converted yet. This is game number 4, match number 4 that we're witnessing, and they still are trying to figure an approach where they'll be successful. But look at LYON. They knew that the flight with Fluxo will not work out in their favor. They wanted to rather be in the circle, quickly take the vehicle. Whether it gets destroyed or not doesn't matter at this point. Get to a compound, call it a safe haven so that you can fight out here on Nextera, because as we still see 12 minutes of the game, it's about to be 13. The circle's now slowly about to close in the next 30 seconds, and every team is going to be forced to fight out, and it's getting closer to Deca Square. And if the fight goes to Deca Square, it's just open lands.
Yeah, I mean, that's a gate crash if I ever seen one. But LYON keeps themselves safely tucked in a compound that will keep them afloat for just a while. This rotation of Twisted Minds might put them in front of MIBR.LOS. Total Gaming in a fight with LYON. The jaws of the LYON clamps down. Total Gaming eliminated in an instant.
This is the reason we were talking about the compound, and LYON were very smart to act about it. Total Gaming did start off, but it did not work out. And now, after Total Gaming, it seems LYON have found their jaws with a lock-on towards S8UL Esports. The fight is a little too far that's happening, but they're still able to hammer them down. That tells you of what LYON's also looking forward to. A recovery of a game. But recovery is not yet happening for MÍA Corp. Fluxo find the last man, and they put an end to their run. And now RQ also jump into this flagship battle of taking down S8UL. On one end there is LYON, on the other end RRQ. Bunny gets hit, Noor right now in trouble, and Jack becomes the last man standing. Can he be the Jack of all trades? I don't think that's an opportunity for him to ask or even deliver on in such a small position with so many teams still surviving.
You did say there's a risk of fights getting called out in open areas when the circle shrinks, and it's currently the reality that some of these teams have to deal with. As the circle starts closing in, the blue will force the movements of LYON straight into RRQ's compound. The Riptide Rhythm doesn't really dissuade them just yet, but bait nade from Captain Dudes sets it up. Bobs also firing from behind with support from Geo on the high ground. LYON, no more.
Jack at least gets one in that mix. An additional elimination for S8UL Esports, but Bobs with that M60. Brilliant stuff being done, but S8UL, they're not safe yet. The last man standing, Jack, he was initially kind of seen by Fluxo, but Fluxo, as the zone's closing in, they know they're not ready for this fight with Jack. They cannot just try to pin him down. Rather, they just jump in front, and Jack, he is peppering them down. Bobs also knocked 2 players from Fluxo in trouble with a quickly recovery. Having the Thiva as an advantage does help you in the nick of time.
But Gio was able to find him at the very edge of it. And that was enough to take him out of the equation. As we go down to this 5 teams, all of them have the full squad left standing. Right out in the open is Fluxo and RQ ready to receive and challenge them up front. Abai leads the charge, and instantly RQ finds himself in the thick of it with a couple of knockdowns. Runs also steps up to the occasion. And the Jinners completely eliminated, and so does Fluxo.
RRQ. We were mentioning about them, talking about them, and now they place themselves in the top 3. This is what they wanted. They had placement. They did not have placement on their eliminations, but Yago, stop this madman from MIBR.LOS. He is just shooting players down like they're standing still targets. One more. Remind gets confirmed. And now MIBR.LOS in trouble as Maal finds General. Rigby close by, Rawan getting closer. Yago has to be the saving grace. He has to pull them from the jaws of death from RRQ.
RRQ versus LOS versus Ahli.
Hawk could also be the X factor. Rigby cut down again by Rans. Simokes is there. Ahli with his save. If they make it far enough into the game, they can be one of the contenders. And here they are in top 3. With less amendment to work with, but enough to threaten RRQ. and give MIBR.LOS some breathing room. And this seems to be the reality right now. Those gluons need to be taken care of because they need line of sight, and Hawk is making it incredibly difficult for RQ to focus on the task at hand. So Rez gets sent in to eliminate Hawk from the equation, and now MIBR.LOS makes it closer to the compound, but Ma'ao, great on his shot and right on the money, focuses down General, and MIBR.LOS down to just 2.
It's trouble. They tried to tread the line as fast as possible, use that distraction, but it still did not work out. There was only one knock, and the bad Rans are in front of the game. They're already super aggressive. Rawan has already received damage. What magic can Yago do? He's out in the open. This time the sniper doesn't sing of any songs to look forward to elimination. It's going to be RRQ, Rans and Duts finding the very first Booyah for Indonesia.
Booyah secure into the
And the
fourth
captain
match.
holds the hands of the young blood and leads him to the first Booyah on the world stage, and that is the exact motivation that you need for RRQ. And unfortunately for Ahli, another heartbreaking loss in the final circle, and it's starting to show something that needs to be kept in check, because we've seen them in the top 4, we've seen them in the podium at least for the round itself. But it's about closing in out the game. We've seen the exact same performance from Dragon Esports last year. When it's not about the rotation, they're pretty smart about it, but it was about how you take those fights, and in this case, they are outgunned by their adversaries again.
As you can see, it seems like the plan over there in the last fight did not go in that direction. It could have been something else. They did not have to, or they did not intend to take the fight with RRQ. I think that's where everything messed up, and that is the reason we see the player a little bit heated up. That is not what we wanted to do. RRQ were already busy with MIBR.LOS. We had to just time it perfectly, and if Ahli did it, they could have another opportunity for their own Booyah. But RRQ, we have to give kudos to them as well of how well they held themselves when the fight instantly turned from MIBR.LOS to somebody they did not even think that was so close by, and they held themselves. And instantly, on one end, how Fluxo, their fans have been roaring for so long, now instantly it turns around to RRQ fans, and they're happy.
Yeah, I mean, again, you said that you have to stop Yago, and Yago was stopped in a different way, right? By eliminating everyone around him. But again, when MIBR took the opportunity of a distracted RRQ to make that rotation, RRQ, they understood the urgency, right? They took care of Ahli as fast as possible and made sure that they still have eyes on the rotation of MIBR.LOS, and that gave them more than enough resources and intel to get this Booyah.
Now, with Ahli already performing in such caliber, right? This is not a game they have to be upset about. Yes, emotions are high because everybody understands that every game is going to be crucial. Even Seven was mentioning, right? Consistency is going to be very crucial when you're in the group stages, especially if you want to make it to the grand finals directly. I think that's what Ahli thinks, and that is the reason we see emotions completely high at this time, especially of a game so close to a Booyah. Nobody wants to miss or mess it up, and I think it does happen. That's what RRQ, for example, the first 3 games we barely saw them 13 eliminations.
देखा जाए भाई, मतलब ये था भाई, ये मैंने करा था ना. मेरा ये था भाई, मतलब सही गैस, ये मेरा सही गैस था. Reorder to get X2 HP. Reorder. मतलब वो टॉप 5 में होता है कि मतलब टॉप 5 में कौन सी टीम आती है, शायद से ये होता है. मतलब मेरे को पता नहीं है भाई, मतलब ढंग से ना. टूर्नामेंट विनर पिक लॉक्ड. अबे यार ये 15 5:30 सुबह 5:30 बजे लॉक हो गया क्या? मेरे को लॉक करना था. माय पिक्स भाई, ये मेरे पिक्स हैं भाई. लाइव ये क्या हो गया भाई? ये करना था भाई, ये रह गया. एक मिनट, अब मैं सोचूं डबल वॉइस क्यों आ रही है। वो फ़ोन पे मैं चेक भी कर रहा हूँ ना कि मतलब लाइव स्ट्रीम चल कैसे रही है, तो उस वहाँ से डबल वॉइस आ रही होगी शायद से वहाँ से ना। फिक्स तो कर दिया चलो। तो भाई मतलब यार ये नहीं कर पाया भाई मैं। भाई बहुत पॉइंट देता भाई, ये बहुत ज़्यादा पॉइंट देता, ये आराम से बहुत पॉइंट्स देता भाई ये। पिक कैंप पे जाके ना, मतलब पिक कैंप पे हम लोग खेलते हैं, देखो फाइनल रिजल्ट जैसे ये तो फ्री फायर पे जाते हैं ना, ये तो कंप्लीट हो गया देखो। तो ये माई पिक्स की मैंने इसमें भी करे थे, 4 में से 3 सही थे। जो टूर्नामेंट विनर ये तो मैंने करा ही नहीं था। नहीं चलो ये हटाया जाए। मतलब यार इसमें ना मिलता है, मतलब कुछ तो मिलता है, मेरे को पता नहीं है, कुछ तो मिलना चाहिए, बट ठीक है। ये मेरे स्टार्ट थे भाई 1400 XP भाई। लीडर बोर्ड टॉप 3 8-4 टॉप 15 प्लेयर। ये भाई मेरा नाम ये क्यों आ रहा है भाई, मेरा नाम ये क्यों आ रहा है भाई। और मैं मिलता क्या है मुझे ये भी नहीं पता, मतलब कुछ तो मिलना चाहिए ना इससे। मेरे को नहीं पता, बस मैं लगाया ऐसे खेलता रहता हूँ, पिक खेलता रहता हूँ। नहीं भाई इसको नहीं दबाऊंगा भाई, नंबर रिवील हो जाएगा।
Said Mal turned out to be the saving grace of the last game for RRQ.
चलो भाई चलो।
No, honestly, Carol, I was concerned because I really thought that it was going to be
यार स्ट्रीम रुक क्यों गई है?
another booyah for MIBR. I was like, enough!
It would have been the third one.
Yes,
Remember,
the third
at
one.
the beginning
Right?
of Group B, I asked, can anybody maybe mimic what Brewery and we were saying it honestly in a joking manner. Because nobody expected to see what happened in Group A here in Group B. And Carol, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. The fact that that squad got so close versus in Group B, they're looking good.
Oh my gosh, they are doing it amazing here at the EWC.
other teams is trying to catch up.
फिर से आगे भाई फौजी भाई समझाने आगे थे भाई फिर
I
से
know they just had RQ. They just had imagine. And the lead is.
ये देखो ये फिर आगे भाई फौजी भाई फिर आगे अब मारेगी.
Judging from the scores that they managed to maintain
अब
right here.
अब मारेगी भाई.
Even for
Happy about that just today.
Is that good for you?
At least I'm admitting that today is really the day for MIBR.LOS as well as Fluxo. But then again, if we're talking about the rivalry, I'm not really sure. One thing for sure though, Taylor Swift should really write something about those two, MT7 and of course Iago. It is a love story, a complete love story of Free Fire.
Or maybe Ariana Grande. Thank you, next.
They're trying to find out who's going to be big brother, who's going to be little brother. Iago definitely doesn't want to be little brother. I mean, we know his stature is going to be outside of this frame. From all these squads, I mentioned it earlier at the start of Group B, and we're just so close to it. I want to see where you guys stand on this. Does LYON end up getting another booyah and goes for that 3, or is Fluxo gonna stop him? Carol?
Man, I think LYON is stronger today, so probably I would say they would go for definitely for the 30 booyah. And one thing very specific about Fluxo is like they got this nickname in Brazil, the boogeyman of indie game, because they only go for indie game. What they are doing here today, going for eliminations, get more points for eliminations, that's not something they used to do in Brazil, because we like to say they do like skinny booyahs.
Oh.
Because it's booyahs with not a lot of eliminations, you know? So it's surprising to see that Fluxo have this kind of performance here today, but definitely LYON look stronger.
Hey, I like that input. Now, quickly, Neptune, is it going to happen or is it not going to happen?
I don't know. Because so far for Fluxo, they did manage to get to the top 2 without any booyah, but if they can steal it away from MIBR.LOS and equalize it like 2-2 before the final, by the end of this day, then there's a lot of things that can happen at this point.
And Conchita, for you, I want a yes or no. Which one is it going to be?
I think I'm just here for the vibe. I'm happy with either of them. I'm just here for the drums, the music, and of course, I would be happy to see any Brazilian team take this.
Let's go. Well, let's see if it's going to happen. Husky, Lucifer, what do you guys think? Can Brazil, especially LYON, can they get that 3rd win, 3rd booyah, or no?
Well, I personally think yes. Vamos, go all the way. You know what? Screw the 3rd booyah, get the 3rd and the 4th booyah, right? Let's close it out. MIBR.LOS all the way. It's a day of celebration for Brazilian teams. Fluxo, MIBR.LOS, you name it. They are here to light up Group B. And now it is for every other team to prove that they are worthy of stepping up to the occasion and giving MIBR.LOS a worthy challenge.
I think Husky's mantra in the entire day so far has been vamos. He is just rooting for every Brazilian squad out there. But I think there's a mix that RRQ just brought in the previous game number 4. And that one reason tells me that there could be a change happening in this game of Kalahari. The open lands of the Sniper's Haven and Nest that they love to target on Iago. He's already been doing great, and maybe he opens up, but Maal, he's also finding his winning ways. Conchita and Neptune, they mentioned about it, so maybe RRQ, they get another booyah, back to back.
I mean, we've highlighted Iago for the entirety of the Group B matches, right? Most damage dealt, most eliminations so far, 21 for him alone. And then they have Haone has 15, so 36 eliminations shared between 2 of them. Well, guess what? Iago is on the map again. But for now, to be Total Gaming against LYON. Fortunately, in the 1v3, Shanky stood no chance. So 3 points for LYON.
Wait, what just happened? I mean, Ahli?
Was it LYON? I think it was LYON. It had to be.
Yeah, this is why, like, even they were mentioning on the desk, right, that, hey, that was a heated argument. There was something of a disagreement between the players, and this is what happens when emotions run high and you are not ready to kind of bring a reset. You instantly lose upon a good game that you are able to deliver. And now Ahli going out so early is a big surprise.
Yeah. And I think on top of that is also, perhaps even when you get the reset, you get a very unfavorable drop, right? You get wiped out by a team like MIBR.LOS. That has got to hurt, so that's double the damage on the mental side. And this is the different part, the secondary part of, you know, competition at the highest level, right? We're not just looking at skill, we're looking at the mental aspect, the psych. How do you kind of recover from a loss? And I think, you know, at least in this case for our Ahli, they have plenty of time to talk about that.
But on the other end, LYON, while they did put and push a loss towards Total Gaming, now there's the Indian counterpart of S8UL. And they put the player down quickly. That's going to be Bunny acting on hacks and instantly confirming as well. So LYON, who thought that this position is completely clear, now there's another challenge. There's still one player here at Santa Catarina who is not yet giving his position away. It's going to be Games King, Gamez King. Can he change the fact, or does he call reinforcements here for LYON and look forward to something big? But something big that's done is going to be from Team Vitality's Koja. 4 eliminations already, and I think while we were talking about RRQ, while we've been talking about MIBR.LOS, I think Vitality need their end of a bargain chip where they can coin it and call themselves a one Booyah game, at least for today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they actually got off to a decent start, right? They took out 3 members of MIBR.LOS, who just got brought back, so that they did slow down one of the front runners of this lobby. And they themselves now on the receiving end of a couple of lead, courtesy of their own comrades from Indonesia, RRQ. And runs a newfound confidence from the previous game, right? Like, just able to lead him in the battle and kind of just reinforce the fact that he is one of the best. This is kind of what we always need from some of these newer players and their first appearance on the big stage, right? Just the fearlessness. And that's what Rans has brought. We're gonna check out here. We did say that MIBR.LOS basically decimated our Ali, and it didn't even look close.
Yeah, we just dropped. We were about to shift from the flight path, and this is what happened. Hawk, he's still trying to hold it off, but just too many players from MIBR.LOS, and now too many players even swarming LYON in this fight. They're trying their best, but they're unable to hold it off, and that's still a challenge coming in from S8UL. Yes, they've been dabbled a little bit of a damage, but they're able to hold themselves off. Hacks again will be confirmed. Jack picking off one more, and Joker, he is going to be the last player who also gets picked off. And S8UL Esports, off to a start that they needed to eliminate a whole squad. It finally happens for them here in Kalahari.
On a map that usually has a slower tempo, we lose 2 teams 4 minutes in. Again, the volatility of this lobby continues to rear its head. A hit list put out. Vitality onto GU. Team Secret, we will revive for now, but they won't have time to kind of get the plans together with Twisted Smiles dropping by. And Diamond is on the hunt. A couple of Team Secret players nearby. Diamond might get sandwiched by Exposy on the low ground. And Huang Nam getting tagged as well. Nan7 dropping down to join with the rest of his team. Twisted Minds actually keeping quite the distance as they call down the storm.
Whenever a fight between Twisted Minds as well as Team Secret happens, it doesn't go in anybody's direction. They end up having casualties, and eventually both of them get eliminated out of the lobby. So I am a little wary about this action. Twisted Minds are actually gearing up, getting closer to Team Secret. The position is known, and especially for Team Secret, the trouble is they lose PLS1, and then there is a lot going wrong. But right now, PLS1 with the max 7 puts the bars down. He tried to make a jump, and it doesn't work out. And now he changes his weapon to take players from afar, pushing the side of Twisted Minds back, and Diamond had to go to the vending machine, revive his players, but he's completely surrounded. He cannot do anything. However, he puts PLS1 down, but before going down himself, he gets a whack to PLS1 as a confirmation.
Yeah, greeted out a little bit. Would have been better to use that primary, but at the end of the day, still getting the job done, and at quite a hefty cost. Total Gaming, on the other hand, Chanky will need a bit of time to patch himself back up. We have Troll on the other side of the open field with him. S8UL having one of the better starts today. Same as TG, both with 5 eliminations. And in fact, with TG, they're a lot more spread out. Mafia taking some shots as well, but also doing some reconnaissance. Make sure that the rest of his team can follow him. There should be confirmation that Tro is nearby.
After their game number 1 and 2, I think finally we are seeing a little bit of a change in Total Gaming. They're picking up eliminations a little more proactive, they're looking a little more confident. A little mess up happened at Santa Catarina, but we can brush that away. It does happen to everybody in the initial drops, but they managed to recover. But S8UL, they managed to recover even bigger, and that's the reason they are not caring of who's in front of them. And yes, they don't know who is, but they will look forward to eliminations. They're a very elimination-hungry team, and so far they even pick up 1 player from Total Gaming.
I think proactiveness is the key word here, right? A lot of teams, if you play not to lose, you're eventually going to lose to teams that play to win. And it's going to be an oxymoron for majority of the time, but it has been a reality, and that's why, you know, winning these gunfights are eventually going to be the cornerstones of getting that booyah and maybe a trophy lift at the end of the journey. And the end of the tunnel right now for Team Vitality is that they are in the center of the circle, right? They have Bayfront that they can control. And a map like Kalahari, having Bayfront under your influence is actually a pretty good area to kind of park yourself under. What surprises me is that RQ didn't immediately go to Refinery.
Exactly.
Right, they're actually playing on the outskirts of that area.
Both Refinery and Command Post are almost looking empty. No teams are taking control of it. They're letting others try to get close by. Surprised to see that, but at least at Shrines, it seems like the fight keeps going on. MIBR.LOS, they thought this is going to be a stronghold, but right now Straw Hats having the position of the verticality, using the terrain advantage, they're trying to put them down. But General answers back, puts shots down, who is also been taken down. It's up to Extra and Nil, but they're afar. They're so on top about it, they cannot be able to easily help their teammates out. But Nil at least trying to hold ground, and he's going to challenge Yago. He's been the man with the big rifle, the long barrel, and he delivers once again. Will not let MIBR.LOS fall down.
Not at all. And at the cost of no casualty, they should be able to retrieve Rigby in time before he bleeds out. So MIBR.LOS with 8 points under the belt continues with a full squad. Aztec gets brought back for TG. Fluxo now under the storm, having to deal with the MÍA Corp. West quite made a bit of noise in the previous game. Didn't make it until the end, but does draw some attention to them and reminded that they are also part of the competition here. But in Santa Catarina, it's going to be the hard one with the stronghold basically controlled by Fluxo. Especially Bobs here, who is going to take that move to join up with Butcherson. They could now go for the push.
Carol mentioned, right, they're the boogeyman, but they're a skinny boogeyman, if you would want to talk about it. Are they going to get closer to that? Fluxo have always been a step in front of the race for a booyah, but they've never gotten closer to it. They've always missed those last opportunities, even if they have a man advantage. But right now, they are troubling MÍA Corp. However, Kappa and Biblik, they put players from Fluxo down. They're turning the tides around. It's working out. They confirm players as well. Butson has to go on this 1v1 and win it out. MT7 on the other end. He is troubling S8UL. A little bit of a wayward approach coming in from Fluxo, but they're still able to hold off MÍA Corp.
Yep, and it goes back to what Carol mentioned earlier on, that MT7 was regarded one of the best snipers from Brazil. Today still outperformed by Yago, but has some moments of brilliance, and that was one of it. Fluxo is beaten and battered, only half the roster remain, and S8UL shows up. Butcherson getting chased left, right, and center for it to fight, but there was no way out of this one. Jack and Tro with a couple of eliminations on their own, and MT7, the star of the show, now sent packing. With a vending machine right in front of them, but with multiple members of MÍA Corp gatekeeping that area.
The approach of taking two-pronged fights is always a problem. You end up sending your resources in two different directions, and if both of them fall, you are left completely alone. And that's what's happening here to MT7. MÍA Corp on the other end, it was only Fluxo they had to fend off. They were able to. They got the player back up as well. So MT7 in a very varied position. He'll not be very comfortable in even going towards the vending machine. Kappa right below him. And
most favorite,
his entire squad is relying for MT7 to get closer to the vending machine and get that revive. And he does. He gets Bobs.
Mafia,
Kappa
MT7
could have held the vending machine, but he doesn't now. MT7 has an opportunity. Runs right to the weapon of Niggs and having, come on, an SMG in such a close range, you can't do anything against a weapon that plays the sniper role.
Yeah, there was no way out of that one. I honestly thought that MT7 would just hold that spot and try to take a 1v1, right? So probably didn't have intel of where the second member of MÍA Corp is, but at least the captain is brought back to lead the team, in person again on the field. Team Vitality with 5 eliminations and 4 of them from Koja. Yago able to sneak through, but that shot ringing through the eardrums of MIBR.LOS. It's gonna give them a bit of intel of a secondary enemy nearby. And it's important information for MIBR.LOS because they will have Twisted Minds to contend with in just a little bit, as the Indonesians now might clash. And the last time they met in Kalahari in EWC last year, it was Vitality that denied RQ of a trophy lift. Now it's going to be some of that rematch. Feels like deja vu from a year ago.
Team Vitality, they've been getting closer to the titles, but never been able to lift it off. And this could be an opportunity that they might have to write on their own. Yes, it is tough, especially in stages like this. At least when we had the last EWC season, it was 18 teams, but now the competition is even tougher. 24 teams, you are just put in one group, you have 12 games to play, and Team Vitality has still not picked up enough to get to the top 4. So the distance is more compared to RRQ. If you talk about it, RRQ are even further down because they messed up in their initial games.
Yeah. I mean, both teams have come second a couple of times, but RQ has been there more often. It's definitely a sour spot to be in. MÍA Corp actually being in a pretty good position in confinement. There is the blue that they are baiting in right now, but We see the binoculars used on the southern end. Gets to just cut through the open field, but completely avoid Fluxo, who are on the lookout. This could put them in a spot. If they continue that rotation now, they could end up intercepting Team Secret, or maybe S8UL.
I think a team to watch out, especially here in Kalahari, is S8UL Esports. They've been taking proactive fights, but this time now they're getting a challenge, and that's going to be Team Secret taking a jump. As the circle shifts dead center, all the teams are getting forced to be close to each other. 9 teams in total, 12 minutes so far in the game, 36 players still surviving. Fluxo have only 2 eliminations, but we spoke about this. Team Secret, they were the ones who tried to go in for a bang on a surprise, and TQ is able to deliver. He's trying to put the players down. He wants to look forward to another player from S8UL, but the glue wall blocks it. Jack will be able to recover the player, but can they find another knock? No! Jack and Noor say no to the players of Team Secret. Start confirming them one by one, and now Team Secret are in trouble.
Team Secret funneled to a choke point and entered the shooting gallery of S8UL. Bunny does get dropped, but S8UL have more members. As Tro gets called in, it's a 3-4v, 2 PLS1 and none. Getting cut down, Tro sliced up in the ribbons. And S8UL with a hell of a performance on Kalahari, 13 points and counting.
That was big to hold off, and this is the reason I said here on Kalahari, watch for S8UL Esports, and they are now delivered. They slice and dice through Team Secrets, but now they have another challenge, is their own counterpart. That's Total Gaming. But seems like they're deciding to move in 2 different directions, and that is maybe the best for here in Kalahari. In the meantime, we spoke about it, RRQ, right? Their initial games did not work out, they messed up, but right now they've taken the lead on the overall ranking compared to Team Vitality, and Team Vitality, it feels like they've been holding far too long and not getting a lot of points, whereas RRQ, they've been delivering.
I mean, if you want to talk about a team that moves faster overall, it's always going to be RRQ, right?
Correct.
They sort of get the engines warm out slightly faster and a bit more consistent, whereas Team Vitality, it really comes down to what the weather feels like. It gotta be a sunny day if you want Team Vitality to put out some numbers. And so far, the sun still shines as Joe takes off Yago's head, but no confirmation on that just yet. The rest of MIBR.LOS now have, again, intel on multiple teams in front of them, and look at this bird's eye view. This is gonna be a nasty fight, waiting to implode on its own. Diamond even popping a shot onto Bunny, but again, no confirmation there for Twisted Minds.
Look at how the circle moves. It's just moving center to the entire big zone itself. It's never giving an opportunity for any team to take it as an advantage. And now still RRQ and Vitality are inside the circle, so they'll be happy about it. And look at them, they're holding the teams on the eastern end from getting closer, and that's going to be MÍA Corp. Already at 12 eliminations, they want more, but all of them are getting stolen by Team Vitality. The deed is being done by RRQ, but the ones who are getting the elimination is Team Vitality, along with MIBR.LOS.
Yeah, RRQ work hard, but Vitality works smart in that exchange. And MÍA Corp, rightfully so, written out of this game. I mean, Twisted Minds, this is a slower game for them, right? 4 eliminations and counting. You have Vitality on the 2nd floor, and that glue wall is the separation that prevents chaos, and RRQ continues to put on the numbers, this time with help of MIBR.LOS, taking down the members of Fluxo. Total Gaming shows are getting blasted mid-air as Aztec loses the exchange to Bunny, and Bunny will get his 3rd.
Total Gaming, they don't have the zone. The zone's closing out. They don't have enough space to work with. Whereas S8UL Esports, they've looked so confident in this very game. Fluxo, the last man standing, gets eliminated outside the zone. Did not have anywhere to move. MT7 going out. The entire squad of Fluxo is done for. This is one of the first games where Fluxo do not make it to the top 4. This tells you of how cutthroat it's become right now as the zone's shrinking. Mafia also gets eliminated. Players from Total Gaming are falling, but S8UL, they're able to hold their own, and now they've gotten to the same building as RRQ.
We're talking about potential dreams. Total Gaming came close in top 3. Now S8UL in the same position, 6 teams remaining, and they are ever so close to that first big step. Of course, for Total Gaming, they have lesser members to work with, so the odds are slightly lesser. Yago removed as well by a grenade from Twisted Minds. As Vitality, they're going to share the same building as Twisted Minds themselves. And now we see that clear separation, but guess what? Where the circle is moving, the Indian teams, they're going to have a good chance to rotate.
They have to be quick on it, because Vitality, they're already troubling MIBR.LOS from getting ahead. RRQ on the other end, they'll be able to spot S8UL Esports if they're quick in their run. But Twisted Minds, I really like how they're holding the compound. So Vitality, they might be in trouble in case they decide to step out, because Twisted Minds, they're already ahead of the game. They're going to be the ones who will try and defend the entry. MIBR.LOS, the last is Survivors, General and Rigby. Can they do something different? Yes, they do. They take the roof approach, make a jump, but they do get damaged a tad bit. But S8UL, while they change the building from RRQ towards Vitality, the port maker being called, they have the challenge of the zone shifting. They have to quickly make a move.
Yeah, and for MIBR.LOS and Twisted Minds, they are going to be one of the cost dips on the center. Koja taking out dudes as well. In the meantime, S8UL, as much as they're slow on the roll this time with their rotation, but they didn't make the more passive choice to play from behind, and that could work in their favor as TG now bleeding now. Shanky no longer able to be rescued in water, about to be constricted, suffocated by the blue. And RRQ as well, removed from the equation. Rigby with confirmation onto water. We're almost down the final 3 teams with MIBR.LOS barely hanging on with 2 members left.
Yeah, somehow they jumped on the roof and they're still surviving. And thankfully, RRQ ended up becoming a target for everybody. Every team started shooting them down. Everybody got bits and pieces of RRQ in that fight to eliminate RRQ. But how this fight concludes is going to be very crucial. 17 seconds in the claw, and the entire zone is going to start shrinking in. No team wants to get out except for MIBR.LOS, but finally a challenge coming in from Vitality. General is down. Rigby is the last man standing. He doesn't have enough space. S8UL on the other end. They're moving further away.
And S8UL, Exposy actually caught Tro as well, and so is Jack. Vitality now joins in on the hunt, and S8UL might just meet an early demise here unless they can wrestle their way out of this. You have Diamond to take care of. He is alone, but he's an anchor for Twisted Minds, barricading himself with a glue wall, knocked down by Jack. And even for Rigby, he still wants a piece of the pie in case he ever gets removed. But S8UL, they held strong just for now.
I don't know how they did it, but they are able to for the time being. But the zone's about to close and they had to make an exit. Use the glue wall, but now it's a very small compound that they have control of. There's nothing else. Every other team is right in front of them who have a better position, a better compound. Even Rigby, who's the last man standing, has an entire compound, a window through see-through. Whereas Vitality, now it looks like they are the lords above. They're standing on the rooftops, having vision of everybody, and Zipping starts it. Buddy down, Troll down, confirmations following one through. Twisted Minds with Exposy picking up confirmations on S8UL Esports, bringing down to their knees. Jack going down, the last man standing. Vitality and Twisted Minds join hands together to take S8UL down.
Only Nor made it to safety, but Vitality knows exactly where it is. Twisted Minds wants to beat them to it though. It's still an extra point for themselves. The pass on the low ground, it might have been a fatal error as Nor now books it with a baseball bat in hand and a glue wall to keep himself safe. This could be a distraction there. Vitality preoccupied by Twisted Minds. Nor now found out by Joe, but Joe will have to work for that if he so wishes to. But Vitality, 4 men strong. We were looking for magic. We were looking for them to step up to the occasion. And this is that moment that Indonesia, they come in late, but better late than never, as the boss will be the only one that has a chance to take down Vitality. But the Hornets will not be denied. And Team Vitality brings themselves a booyah.
What a game coming in from Team Vitality. We were talking about it, right? While Brazil is taking all the initial games away, it seems like Southeast Asia finally finding their ways to victory, especially Indonesia. RRQ to follow now with Team Vitality. Brilliant game. I think even the rotation, the position they were holding in that final fight, as we spoke about MIBR.LOS, right? Them taking the rooftop, but unfortunately did not have the numbers. If they did have what Vitality did, looking like the giants above the Davidson, the Goliath fight that was happening, it could have been MIBR.LOS, but Vitality played it to perfection.
वाइटैलिटी को चेक करते हैं कहाँ की है वाइटैलिटी ओरिजिन वाइटैलिटी ई स्पोर्ट्स लिखना पड़ेगा भाई वाइटैलिटी ई स्पोर्ट्स ओरिजिन हाँ फ्रांस की ही है भाई फ्रांस की ही है फ्रांस की ही है फ्रांस की है रीजन यूरोप लोकेशन यूरोप फ्रांस मैनेजर सीईओ फाउंडर अच्छा अब तो बिगेट्रॉन बन गई ना ये रहा भाई ये टीम बन गई है बट है यही बिगेट्रॉन रासेनगन BTR विन भाई फ्रेंच है भाई मतलब लेकिन ये तो इंडोनेशियन है ना और ये फ्रेंच है लोकेशन इंडिया भाई वाइटैलिटी इंडिया कब आई भाई? वाइटैलिटी इंडिया कब आ गई? आई डोंट नो, वाइटैलिटी में कभी इंडियन प्लेयर्स भी खेल रहे थे तब.
In that anybody tries to hold their position there, they're bound to be taken on. Thankfully, maybe Vitality did not have launchers or anything, because yes, a lot of resources got expended there because multiple teams were present and a lot of fights took place. S8UL also, you have to give it to them, they held their own in such a small spot, took down the player of Twisted Minds, and I think that was also the reason Twisted Minds did not have enough reinforcements going into that final fight with Vitality. If that reinforcement was there, maybe Twisted Minds could have gotten their own booyah.
Yeah, and with that being said, we are approaching the final round, but anything before the final round deserves a bit of a breather. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a bit with another Nextera round.
Match 4 गलत था. सिर्फ 5.
This ain't no regular thing. King for the breed, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights. Better get right.
दोनों में लॉक हो गया. पिक लॉक्ड हो गया है. ये भी यार पिक लॉक हो गया भाई. मतलब ये देखो 44% of the community have said AGL जीतेगी भाई.
He thinks he can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing but go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
चलो भाई ब्रेक आया है. 10-12 मिनट का ब्रेक है. जहाँ तक मेरे को लग रहा है हाँ ब्रेक है. सो आई विल बी ऑल बैक सून. मैं भी ब्रेक पे जा रहा हूँ जैसे ये ब्रेक पे जा रही है. आई विल बी बैक टिल द मैच स्टार्ट्स.
diplomacy didn't go according to plan. The last game it was a no-show. They got completely decimated by MIBR.LOS. But now we're back on this terror where they play top 3. Wota just passing by Della, who held his breath.
Wait. Okay.
He has no idea.
And Della did not take a fight. I think he was worried that maybe there might be more players from Total Gaming following Wota. But Wota, he's on a hit list. He has to be worried about it. MÍA Corp are close by. He's just trying to run. Oh, it's not on Wota. It's going to be on Mafia, the hit list, and they have to protect Mafia. But Wota is nowhere close to his teammates. And there's the final revive. Shanky also brought back to life, meaning Total Gaming are a full set of 4 players, but nowhere close to each other yet.
I think it's also a smart choice for Della to not take that fight, because what if you lose, right? And you're out of the lobby. You know, a strategic move there. Team Secret against Vitality. This came off a massive round, and Team Secret looks to quickly extinguish that flames by taking out half the roster. But still, I mean, Team Vitality themselves have 6 eliminations already in the bag. Sabang holding back on the trigger finger. No clear shot just yet. So survival is imperative. Team Vitality at this point, so Team Secret gets to walk away with a couple of eliminations under the belt. I believe it's 5 for now. Even Straw has getting into a bit of a fight. RRQ coming out on top, and Rans gets a quad.
Straw Hats all the way from Boxing Gym, try to keep running away, but it's not been working out. RRQ, they find them at Deca Square. So as of now, RRQ looking forward to going back to their winning ways, what they did in our game number 4, get themselves a booyah. But in the overall ranking, we just saw both Vitality as well as RRQ both sitting with a total of 77 points. Neck and neck, these two, whenever it comes to competition. The rivalry is cutthroat between these two giants. But hey, it's about getting to the top 4. Today, you don't win anything. One thing that you make sure of is you're in the final for the hunt of the trophy, for the hunt of that shield, to put your coin in and smash every other key out.
And take 3 bags as souvenirs.
Oh, yes.
Don't forget that part. But also to give yourself a big lead so that you have a cushion to lay back on tomorrow, right? Let's say if you kind of blow 2 rounds in a row, at least you're not out of contention. Which is very important for teams with track record of not being able to show up consistently, right? And in this case, both the Indonesian teams we have in this lobby, we even set it up that the last 3 maps are going to be Indonesian favored. And guess what? So far, it has been RRQ and Team Vitality.
One thing that we do have to give it to is, yes, Fluxo, of how they've been trying to control and convert. But their fans out here, they've been roaring from game number 1, even before the game number 1 started in our pre-show. But right as now, LYON, they want to be the ones. The Beasts Unchained against Vitality. The Hornets who just got their booyah. A 1v1 against Koja. And Games King proves better with the duel. He goes in for a second. Banks 2 elimination. And LYON looking better than ever in this final game for themselves.
That looks slightly reckless from Team Vitality, but with Fluxo's arrival, LYON are poking it out of there. Thankfully, Vitality, they split up in a 2-2 squad, so not all is lost. Even for Fluxo, despite no booyah so far, they're still spirited. The fans continuing to cheer on for their favorite team. RRQ on the radar right now against Team Secret. The aggressors are the Vietnamese. T-Quay around the corner, joined by Nan, but the window not really safe. As the grenades fly through from RRQ, Abai would take a space. Riptide Rhythm from Ma'ao, Huang exposed. PLS1 does the same, runs now getting pushed.
Team Secret after the game 2 and game 3, they've not picked up pace. But right now, Duts is down. PLS1, the man who's been dealing the damage, and Rans, he also gets knocked. That's going to be from TQ. And RRQ in trouble after losing 2 of their players. The newest, youngest gun and their captain. That's something to be worried about. Mahal and Abai, they are close. They could get stuck, and Abai gets challenged. Nothing much he can do. Thankfully, did buy enough time for Mahal to go back to the vending machine. Revive will be back up. But so far, whenever we've seen Nextera, he's been very high on elimination. Teams have been reviving their teammates back and forth, getting their teammates out, reviving again. So some of the teams are walking very happy out of Nextera once we end the game.
Yeah, it's just, you get some extra points, right? Some chump chains.
Match 6 final
and I think teams, they got comfortable after the halfway point to settle in, and now they're more proactive in finding those eliminations. And Ma'ao, he's gonna fly out of there. Can they shoot him down from the skies? Doesn't seem to be the case. Ma'ao finds safety and a good chance of reconvening with the rest of the squad. But right here, Games King, a reckless rush from D, takes a headshot to the face. And double revolver working wonders here in CQC when you have that pre-fire advantage.
Double revolver, sir.
Advantage here on the replay, as we did see LYON getting themselves some extras. And I think LYON is a team that we want to see a lot coming in from, especially as we've already spoken about Games King, Gamez King. It is just brilliant of what he can do, but so far we've just seen a couple of eliminations that he's been able to deliver, and here on Nextera as well. Not much in terms of aggression, but there is an eye on him if he's able to deliver for the region, for the team, and push themselves forward, because we saw what Gun Dynasty did. They are sitting at the top of the charts in Group A, in a group which is the toughest out there, and they managed to do that, and we expect nothing short of their champs.
Yeah, I think in this case we're seeing the expected front runners to be in front, but there are some standout performers, right? I mean, we saw Team Secret had a good round or two, but even then they are now sitting in 6th place with only 60 points. And the cutoff top 4 is actually a lot further than they would have liked. I mean, even TG and S8UL have some good moments, but in this case, S8UL's runs ended pretty early on as they have been wiped out. So all eyes are going to be back on Total Gaming, and maybe Ahli again. They can find that redemption, that recalibration from map 4.
I hope a recovery even happens. MIBR.LOS on the other end. We were rooting for maybe 4 booyahs on a stretch, but right now they might look forward to a third. They've already gotten Game 1 and Game 3 under control. This is Game 6. And if they do, I think they're already ahead of the race in the top 4 to make it to the finals. And Brazil might end up seeing a champion. I think they've been the ones who've been waiting for the title. Except for Fluxo, there's been nobody else from Brazil who's gotten themselves a big international title. And if it happens here, MIBR.LOS, they're going to be the happiest.
Again, it's a callback to one of the storylines, and I mean, a part of me wish that we could give multiple titles. We could share trophies to these teams. You want to talk about MIBR.LOS? I also want to bring up RRQ, Vitality, those that have missed on the trophy.
So much.
I want to complete the cabinet of BRU so we could finally close that chapter. That could take this. That could be a reality in 3 days or another year. We never know. But one thing is for sure, this competition has been getting harder and harder every year, man. Like I feel like coming to 2026, I think to myself, and I wonder, what else can these teams give?
It is anybody's game out there. You cannot either predict or implicate that these teams are the ones who are going to perform. Right. That's how the stage is so far. It was divine. We came in thinking that, hey, it's not going to happen on day 1 for them. And there you go.
They had 1 year of slump and they come in here and they get top 4 after day 1. I mean, 2 years ago, if you tell me BR is going to lift the trophy, I'm like, of course they're going to lift the trophy. Correct. I don't have to watch the match. I'll wake up the next day and look at the final and know it's going to beat them, right? It's going to happen in my dreams. It's going to happen in the real world. But right now, it hasn't been the case.
And that's what we kind of thought for RRQ and Vitality as well. It's not been the greatest start today. Maybe a recovery that we end up seeing around game number 3 and now game number 5 that Vitality were able to secure a booyah. Now even LYON trying to do the same thing. While we are kind of drawing verticals between Group A and Group B, that's the best part of it. Eventually, both these groups of whoever managed to qualify to the finals will be fighting against each other. So a sharp eye needs to be kept. And right now in next year, I'm surprised that no teams are yet fighting. We've barely seen an elimination for at least 2 minutes, and we've been just standing and talking about different teams.
Yeah, and it gives us some breathing room to really re-establish some of the narratives that has been built up over the courses of maybe a couple of seasons or even years. But now the ice will break with Team Secret's arrival at Straw Hat's mansion here. They're gonna box up the attic first, but Games King from nowhere takes out X-Trop, and that is bad news for Straw Hats.
Straw Hats are not having their day at all here on day 1. They've been trying. I didn't have high expectations, but it seems like just like Titan Esports Club, they're not finding their foot to lay down on or maybe even run. And Team Secret on the other end have already picked 8 elimination, have cornered Straw Hats. Same can be said between Fluxo as well as Twisted Minds. They cornered Exposee, but the Bass, he's quick. He rushes outside, puts the player down, but butts in trying to go in for a trade-off. This is going to be a 1. As MT7's been taken down, that is going to be a little bit of a worry for Fluxo, and the teammates are not close by, not together to play out. And you can see still, he picks one player off, but so close. In danger is Gyu. Puts up glue walls, but for how long is he going to defend?
And was able to make it out the doorway as well, avoid the blue zone. Back. Hugh's back up in time. There's now a second win. It could be a possibility for Gyu right here. That glue wall goes down. Gyu now takes on the challenge. A 2v1. Tall order there for Gyu. And not doable as Twisted Minds shuts that down.
Not at least today as of now for Fluxo. Tried their best, but they will get eliminated. Twisted Minds, they are looking forward to their booyah. I think they are kind of the underdogs, the underrated so far. They've been always been in the circuit, but they've not always gotten closer to the title from Thailand.
And that's what we sort of established at the start, right? Like they were the last team we talked about. And we went through every single team before we arrived at Twisted Minds. And you look at any official circuit, they were never the last. In fact, they were the ones that is upsetting the balance. They were the ones that, when they show up big, suddenly they take away all of the spotlight. But it goes just as quickly as it comes.
But as of now, MIBR.LOS, they're looking forward to getting their own booyah. Oh, a fight completely against RRQ, and it is going to be Total Gaming who win it out, but the zone's closing in. They have to quickly recover, but there is Team Secret in trouble, and whenever it is PLS1, he is the sharpshooter out there. However, training it out, troubling Team Secret here, and they were not ready for it. The last man standing wants to take a launch pad, quickly jump over. TQ can be spotted out in the open. The zone's very small, the circle small. However, Total Gaming, they survive. And PLS1, the confirmation comes through, and TQ steps right to the Vitality's landmine, and that is done for Team Secret.
Yeah, unfortunate chain of events, but it was a bailout for Total Gaming. A second chance given here. Twisted Minds against MIBR.LOS, who are slightly quieter this round. But in the grand scheme of things, Twisted Minds down in numbers. LYON still holding on strong now up against MÍA Corp. Vitality also in the circle with a good building to control. We've seen that in the previous round on Kalahari, where they played these compound fights very systematically. TG under the pit, looks for the bass, finds the trade.
They were quick, but the problem is still not done. Jump is still surviving. He's been able to deliver one knock, and now it comes down to the player, Shanky, the last man standing, and he gets cleaned off. That is trouble for Total Gaming, and it is done. Game number 6, they couldn't find much. And thanks to LYON also being there, they ended up helping out Twisted Minds, and Jump will still make it across at the 6th spot, and he still has a lot more chances.
Some of these teams that won to the second chance. We talk about LYON, we talk about MÍA Corp, who have something to prove, but Ahli, full squad remaining here. As we go into the top 6, Ahli now has to go to this battlefield and gets completely blown up by Holiday.
The one major problem in Group B that we've seen is multiple teams taking hit on just one single team. They're getting forced on those fights, sandwiched on those fights. They're getting minced, and now Jump, the last man who gets eliminated. That's the end for Twisted Minds. But look at MÍA Corp. Of all the 5 games we've seen so far, they've made it to the top 4 the very first time, and this looks good. It seemed like a recovery for them.
You want an underdog to root for, you have 2 choices now, MÍA Corp or LYON, Latam or USA. And LYON looking good, double digits. Games Kings finally coming online with 8 eliminations as an individual. Rigby now take on the challenge. You see LYON on the high ground. MIBR.LOS is going to get pushed just a little bit as MÍA Corp shows up, taking down the Hornets. There's 2 bodies drops the bank, trying to fight back with whatever he has left, but you have the blue zone to contend with, and Kapas is not going to let it happen. This is MÍA Corp's fight. This is theirs to take, but 2 of them still goes down. The blue zone takes all of them out, and MÍA Corp ends up falling victim to the system.
Vitality का एक ही player बचा हुआ है भाई, लॉस और LYON
के It looks like MIBR.LOS might be looking forward to the third.
MIBR.LOS के 4 है, LYON के 4 है, Vitality
looking unstoppable so far, but LYON, can they stop them? A 1v1 duel is what they decide to take, but Yago and Rigby 1 by 1 take on Vitality, and LYON are losing players one after another. And as that happens, even Dix gets eliminated, and Games King was the last man standing. And it is going to be MIBR.LOS getting the final booyah of Group B's Day 1.
Matching BRU's achievement in Group A, 3 booyahs. As and you shall receive, MIBR.LOS delivers it on a silver platter. Thailand might have dominated Group A, but Group B is their closest contender for the longest of time. And it's not Fluxo, it's MIBR.LOS.
I mean, Yago back on the trail of being Group B. Highest in terms of sniping skills, best in terms of dealing damage, looking forward to eliminations. And MIBR.LOS, I think, as soon as the zone was about to shift, the approach they made to get ahead of it, that sealed the game for themselves. They blocked every other team, and right now they end up holding it off. Even that final battle, LYON did have an opportunity, but we've spoken about this. You split your resources, you split your approach, it becomes difficult. If both fall, both the fillers are down, the entire building collapses, and that's what happened for LYON. If they were together, maybe there wasn't a chance.
Yeah. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And unfortunately for Ahli, we saw the recovery, right? It was in action. They put the plan into motion, all to get intercepted by MIBR.LOS on the cross. But it's something that is unfortunate. And I think, you know, all things considered, they did achieve what they wanted.
Yeah.
They still have 6 more games tomorrow. And worst comes to worst, 10 more on day 3.
Yeah, but if MIBR.LOS do what they did today, Ahli might have a lot of trouble. Because when they started the day off, we did see them around the top 4, top 3, but now they've slowly been dipping down, and that is going to hurt for them. And I think that is why we saw that emotion come out from the players itself as soon as they lost that battle between RRQ, and RRQ ended up getting their very first MIBR.
Yeah, absolutely. And we even see the players' POV, Yago, of course, keeping the Skylar up close to his heart.
Yeah.
That's what won him his first trophy internationally back in 2023. That could be a callback if he was to lift the EWC trophy at the end of this weekend. MIBR.LOS, man, they could complete the saga. They could finish the job.
Yeah.
That was 365 days ago.
They could do between somebody else and they could take it away. Maybe Brazil is what EWC this time has the name of. But right as now, we have an interview on stage. That's going to be Dots. Let's send it over there.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be back here with you and me together, but also it's such a pleasure to interview Dutch right now. Alright, we reached the end of the day, but the day for you guys starts slow with some early eliminations, but you guys keep it up towards the end. What was the reason for the slow start?
Jadi pagi tadi kan mulanya agak perlahan dengan ada elimination. Jadi mengapa pagi tadi agak perlahan gitu permulaannya?
Oh, ya mungkin ini day awal kita main, jadi ya kita pemanasan aja Cidi day ini.
Maybe it was the beginning, we were warming up.
Okay, yes, that's for sure. It's a good reason, and you guys did amazing. And it picked up massively with a booyah. Was there anything you said to each other, your team, maybe build up a better chemistry to put the previous games behind you?
Jadi kemudian selepas yang agak elimination itu kan, kemudian jadi lebih bagus. Jadi lebih bagus kan selepas itu sudah ada booyah. Jadi apa yang dilakukan dalam tim sama-sama, ada strateginya kah ke apa?
Ya mungkin game tadi sih kita belum tahu cara main musuh di sini sih. Jadi kita baca game di match berapa, ya kita akhirnya bisa dapat booyah lah.
So at the beginning, we cannot read the other team's games. And then we got the trend, we know what they're going to do, and we read the room basically, and then we got better.
Perfect. Study the other teams is the best that you guys can do to finish the day like this. Okay, our IQOO have always placed highly at the international events, but not managed to win any of them. What are the final things you guys are missing that you needed to do to finally win our World Championship?
Jadi RRQ selalunya di tangga tertinggi dalam international games. Tapi kenapa masih belum di tempat tinggi dan apa yang perlu dilakukan?
Ya mungkin kemarin kita belum dapat pajalnya lah buat jadi juara. Tapi di tahun ini ya kita pasti bisa jadi juara dunia lah.
We may not have had the luck yet, but this year we are determined to win.
Wow, what a strong answer. Thank you so much, Dutch. That was Dutch from IQOO. Congratulations on the day. We are waiting more action from IQOO in the next days. And you and me, guys, thank you so much. That was amazing. Back to the studio.
RRQ, you started off slow, but boy, did you finish strong as well. Conchita, are you happy with their performance today?
I am quite happy, even though I know that they could do so much better. I think, yeah, they could do so much better, seeing how they performed last year, and of course, the journey throughout the whole year in the regional. I do think that could be so much better than what we see today, but finishing at the 5th position with 88 points and 63 elimination points is quite okay, I guess.
I mean, you've got to be happy.
I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to say the wrong things again. So, okay, I'm just going to give a thumbs up.
I mean, even after that, he was just saying, you know, we read the room, and that was exactly what you said. They were like, just give him a little bit of time to like adapt, and that's what came from RRQ. So it's like, you know. No.
RRQ, that means RRQ tomorrow, she wants a first place finish out of your group, which is going to be tough considering how LOS is currently playing. Talking about LOS, it happened.
It
ended up happening. They ended up getting 3
Oh my
booyahs.
God. Yeah, 3 booyahs. That is amazing. And of course, seeing that Buriram United Esports also achieved the same thing, I think it's like, I don't know, it's like a reality call. Like, you're not special, we can do the same thing as you know what I'm saying? But of course, if we compare the points, I think Buriram United Esports is still slightly ahead with 132 points and 80 elimination points. So yeah, LOS, this is a great start. Hopefully they can keep the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that they managed to pull off this third buoy as well, because I was expecting that they couldn't. Because judging from the numbers that they brought in, or everyone out of this group, it was quite close to each other. Like, look at it. Compared to what we have earlier on Group A, right now it's only LOS who have a huge lead, and the rest is quite very close against each other. So I really am loving how each team is trying about this. I'm really looking forward to how when they're mixed up together.
Yeah, if you're LOS coming into tomorrow, you're going to be so happy you have a 38-point lead to 5th place team. That's exactly where you want to be. Now, if you're Vitality, what a step up from this squad as well. And before we even go into Vitality, Twisted Minds ends up finishing in that 4th place.
I'm so impressed with Twisted Minds, okay? If y'all see my eyes on the screen, I've been following their entire story today, and honestly, they have been building success since match number 2, baby, and you can see it, even in like their macro plays and their adjustments when they go through the trenches, and I mean, they're down to 1 player, generally, you know, Jump's gone in and, you know, go, oh, okay, I'm down, and then you've got Diamond with the recovery, but they have been able to literally pull this together and fight for their dear life, and you see it with Exposy and Diamond. They were basically damage leaders, 2nd and 3rd. Plus we have Exposy 2nd in elims overall for this team. So this is nothing to shy away about. No, it's not the top, but they were able to change absolutely everything through their games, and I'm loving watching this team, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future.
We're talking about these amazing teams in the first page, but we got to flip that side. We got to take a look here at the second page, especially those teams towards the bottom, because Neptune coming into tomorrow, it is a healthy lead and a healthy gap that they're gonna have to make sure they close.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they put in the homework today after the game.
So भाई बढ़िया रहा भाई आज का दिन ग्रुप ए की स्ट्रीम के टाइम तो बहुत था हमारे पास प्रॉब्लम आई एक बार लाइव स्ट्रीम बंद ऑटोमेटिकली हो गई दूसरी लाइव स्ट्रीम चलानी पड़ी उसमें लाइट चली गई तो वो भी लाइव स्ट्रीम ख़राब हो गई ग्रुप बी की लाइव स्ट्रीम प्रेटी गुड बीच में थोड़ा बहुत बफरिंग हुआ बट ठीक है ये लाइव स्ट्रीम बढ़िया हुई है टीम्स ने बहुत बढ़िया खेला आई वुड से कि हाँ टोटल गेमिंग थी टोटल गेमिंग ने जो मतलब अपनी कंसिस्टेंसी क्या बोल रहा हूँ भाई मैं बोला भी नहीं जा रहा भाई कंसिस्टेंसी हाँ कंसिस्टेंसी बना के रखी भाई अपनी वो उन्होंने अच्छा मारा उन्होंने मतलब बढ़िया खेला ओवरऑल S8UL भाई कलहारी के मैच में वो जो मारा भाई उन लोगों ने वो जो घुस के वो लोग खेले हैं भाई दैट वाज लाइक सुपर था भाई वो दैट वाज लाइक सुपर और उसके बाद में अगर बोलूँ तो एपेक्स गेमिंग थोड़ा सा लाइक दे कैन डू बेटर बढ़िया वैसे बोल सकते कि बढ़िया खेला लेकिन एक्सपेक्टेड मच मोर ओवरऑल भाई अपनी इंडियन टीम्स बढ़िया कर रही है बट दे कैन डू बेटर आई विच वी सी आर इंडियन टीम्स इन फाइनल्स कल है ए और बी के वापस से मैचेस 6 मैचेस हैं दोनों के 12 मैच कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे देन वी विल सी कौन सी टॉप 4 टीम्स जाएंगी ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में और कौन सी टीम्स 12 जो बचेंगी वो जाएंगी सर्वाइवल स्टेज में और बाकी कौन सी 4 टीम ऐसी होंगी जिनका सफ़र ख़त्म हो जाएगा लाइक इतना ही है ना मतलब कितनी टीम्स है 24 टीम्स है ना 4 के बाद 4 तो निकल गई दोनों ग्रुप से 2 निकल जाएंगी ना मतलब यही है तो शेड्यूल यही फॉर्मेट है तो दोनों ग्रुप में बची फिर 10-10 तो दोनों ग्रुप की बॉटम 2 निकल जाएगी तो दोनों ग्रुप में बची 8-8 तो अगर दोनों ग्रुप में 8-8 बचेगी तो पहले वो तो 16 टीम हो गई ये क्या सीन है भाई ये क्या हो गया कितनी टीम जा रही है कितनी टीम्स जा रही हैं भाई कितनी टीम्स जा रही हैं कितनी टीम्स जा रही हैं एक मिनट रुको जरा ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप 2026 ये रहा ना ग्रुप स्टेज 24 teams divided into 2 groups of 12 matches. The top 4 from each group qualify to the finals. अच्छा, मतलब 24 teams है, 24 teams में से 8 निकल के जाएंगी. ओह ओहो, और इसमें से भी टॉप 4 क्वालिफाई है, तो 8 और 4. अच्छा, रिमेनिंग टीम एलिमिनेटेड, और ये अपना चैंपियन रश होने वाला है. ये हमारा स्कोरिंग सिस्टम. चलो भाई, बढ़िया है, बढ़िया है. टॉप 4 टीम्स आएंगे. मतलब मैं थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज था, मुझे थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा था. दिस इज द रूल बुक ऑफ EWC. पिकएम ऑल देखते हैं. ऑल दो गंदी पाया मैंने पिकएम ऑल में भी. ये रहा. इसमें MIBR.LOS से 500 पॉइंट मिले. वही यहाँ पर 1500 पॉइंट मिले. टोटल गेमिंग #2 पे थी भाई. MIBR.LOS और वाइटालिटी, यहाँ से 1500 मिल गए. टीम सीक्रेट और फ्लुक्सो थोड़ा गलत हो गया मेरा. ओवरऑल पॉइंट्स कितने मेरे पास अभी? 1500, देखो 1000, 2000, 3000, 3500 पॉइंट्स है भाई मेरे पास. बढ़िया भाई, बढ़िया. ऑल गुड वर्किंग. ओके गाइस, तो दिस वाज टुडे स्ट्रीम. मिलते हैं कल वाली लाइव स्ट्रीम में. सो टिल दैट टाइम, गुड नाइट. लेट्स होप फॉर द बेस्ट एंड बाय बाय. ये क्या लगा देता हूँ भाई. ये क्या लग गया भाई, गलती से लग गया था भाई, कोई बात नहीं. बाय बाय.
Hey there, what you drinking? 2 shots, let's pour it out. I know what you're thinking, but tomorrow won't come for us. This life that we're living, ain't never gonna give it up. Double shot for the gifted, and one more for us. There you go, drink it up. All this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. is the time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.